outside edges a little bit too much when they have the gumption, they have the capability to play those central positions. But for E-Arena, I think they were just gambling with the points there. If they get the full form. Nongshim coming in from that north side. S2G do have a player down in the dirt. Looking to get him res back up again, but Nongshim with a pretty decent injection on that northern side. Gives him a lot of maneuverability. A lot of capability to actually gatekeep on the northern edge if they so wish. Maintain control of some of that higher ground, some of those roads that teams will want to cross back into.
It's almost poetic. It's been twice inside of this game we've seen S2G and Ulf going against each other. Ulf coming into it to start the day here. They were in 8th place. I believe 61 eliminations over the course of the finals. Up to that point, they were in a pretty good form when it came to fighting. They've just got to maintain that pressure. 2 elims here. We've got the rotate coming over from Aurora. Furia out of the mix early though, Blank. And that's not what we expected to see.
Godlike though, 10 eliminations. You can only imagine that full squad wipe over towards Fury came through from Godlike with a small assist from 4thRise. Yeah, Godlike certainly trying to put their name on the map today, but it feels a little late for them. At 67 points, they can earn those big rankings today. Grab some more cash on board, a bit more pride for the country as well. Overall, really big step up in that last day, which is why I was saying on day one, you got to give these boys time. It's their first time at an international here at PMWC, so realistically, they just needed a little bit of acclimation, essentially. And once that was done, they looked pretty damn good going in towards the later portions of yesterday and already starting out strong here on the first game of the day. Circle continues to center up around Meiran. S2G controlling a very, very good spot. It has been good control over the center for S2G throughout the majority of games. Some very good rotates. I mean, Solke has been in the game such a long time at this point. And that veteran mindset is really coming into play here, where he's seen a lot of these circles before. He's seen a lot of these rotates. And he can really lead the team to victory. Yes, some of the gun skill maybe isn't there for this guy, but he's still giving it gas when needs be. I think Solke's had a great step up, considering the amount of time he's been in this esport.
You've got a lot of talent on that roster. You can pass the baton too if you need to rely on someone for a sick play mechanically as well. So certainly armed for some good fights. Talking of which, Aurora getting line of sight over onto the Vitality migration as they wanted to make a move straight past. Few shots on target, resulting in them going down to a 3-man squadron. And Tora that also have a similar flight path back over towards the zone. I'm curious as well, bro, the push down from Nongshim Red Force, Thunderfooted their way into the zone early. I was saying the consistency of this team looked good, but it's the fact they've turned on this aggression. They're willing to fight for a good position now, Blank.
I mean, playing over towards the northeast side of Meiran, I mean, it's a bold maneuver, right? You don't try to hold out teams on the outer edge. But they don't get themselves too stuck into Meiran either. So they have accessibility to the rest of the zone. But this is a livable position in what is a bit of a dastardly circle. Now, E-Arena, we saw them coming in very late. They played over towards Stadium for a long, long time. Go over to recuperate after 2 players in Tony K, as well as Joker went down to the Fury a lot. Just on the heels though of OG.
Mormon's going to jump out. He loves a scrap. In the meantime, the Elim feed's lighting up and the crowd's getting excited because Godlike, it looked like it was a struggle of a fight versus Ida, but they've turned it right around. They lose 1 player and are able to clean out the entire squad. So goodbye, good night, Ida. The second team to exit stage left in our opening game of Rondo. Whilst E-Arena continue to chase OG.
Keeping it pretty.
भाई Godlike full वैशी भी पड़ी है 14 kill. Nice.
How these teams play. So crazy as well. Godlike's just hit the 14th elimination on this game. They are cracking it open.
14 kill हो गए हैं.
Great to see. But for
Fourth rise
Irina,
किधर है?
I do think you're getting ahead sometimes. Where for this game, for them,
Nice. Fourth rise versus URL versus NS होने लगा.
ginormous points, but what does
यार ये
matter is
chicken
just
निकाल
getting
लेना
enough
fourth rise,
so you
यकीन मानो
open up
game
the
बन जाएगी.
capability throughout the rest of the day to hit that smash. But you can get in your head about it. You absolutely can. Soka moves up towards the west
Aurora
side.
versus Vitality हो गया.
He's extremely pleased
Pata.
with this shift as they were already in Mayran, as we stated earlier. Irina was a little bit slow to the punch. Vitality finds the first here in top, but Axel will go down once again. Aurora
Vitality
has
का
been
पकड़ा गया आखिरी.
hounding Vitality the entire game.
हो रहा किधर है? Nice 3-4 nice.
Clean uppercuts.
खत्म कर दिए थे यहाँ पर.
And with Vitality out, they'll be able to save their mate, get top back on his feet, recover from this. They
यहाँ का last बंदा. Nice यार nice. अब मैं कहाँ गया?
to get into the zone themselves. Meanwhile, Nonshin Red Force actually getting vision of their entry point. And
हो रहा ही पकड़ा गया.
dispatch two of the players. They're pincered as well. Velula on the other side. So this is a ton of info for Nonshin and some extra points.
Look at this shot from Doc. Really, really good stuff. Double spray down on the roll up is crazy even before they get anywhere close.
भाई ये replay बाद में दिखाना.
And not a single dash of damage sent back his way.
40 के 11 kills हो गए. OP.
Here from Aurora, but they have a long way to go. Nick Galaxy currently holding the backside on that southern edge. S2G.
Chicken चाहिए chicken बस chicken.
Lula holds back Flash over towards the water side. Aaron out in the open, waits for the reload to come through and then makes the cross. Good timing on that one.
These two sides hounding each other the entire time on Rondo. Feels like they're mirroring each other. Ooh, Orangutan from the side getting a look in as well. Soke feels that one. Gotta drop off. Meanwhile, the team with a whole load of elims and Godlike wrapping down potentially to get a bit of a scout over towards the setup from E-Arena, Blank.
E-Arena would be really bad to go out right now. And I can actually tell that E-Arena is playing fairly passive because they didn't take the opportunity, despite being ahead of OG, to hit Mayran hard.
Oh, nice.
OG's actually been
40 versus Godlike. यार इसको मार देना है आज 40. Comeback आ गया इसका मतलब समझ जाना.
Just to survive. One knock goes back over towards
IQ ने 7 kill किए हैं. OP.
But it's not carnage just yet.
No, it's not, but it is a little bit of a crowbar that's been dashed at them, slowing them down on their potential aggressive play. That was from 4 Fribes as well, by the way. And yeah, we're hyping up the Godlike maneuvers, but they're currently sat on 11 elims themselves. And if they can vie for control of a decent position off the back of this skirmish inside, hey, maybe 4 Fribes are coming alive early.
What's great for Fourth Rise, right? In PMGO Season 1, they were sort of the back seat because they came in with Smash Point very early on the first day. And I think that pressure got to them a little bit. It went all the way to match 6. They weren't able to put a lot of points, but they managed to make it through. The Arena, though, sending over. Joker does need to reinforce the lines. Good shots from Schweppes, but immediately it's taken by Huzaifa. At distance, Manya up to the rock, but realizes he's got to push back.
Kill चोरी करो. 40 को push करना चाहिए. आगे 40.
Should be able to pick up this flush. Good nade again though. Now just S power. A lot to do, but this is the man to do it.
फटा. Oh, बच गया.
Able to keep his head above water for a few more seconds.
Oh.
Shuts down S-Power. Salme out. Adamino, the only one left now. That deployable cover barely keeping him alive.
3 players up still for E-Arena, looking to get further into this game. Admino might be able to go for the res if he goes for it now. I think they're going to sweep round and try and figure out what's going on back there. S-Power still down, knocked. Schweppes moves up, goes for the drive by, has the information, and that is Godlike out. So a good refresh on the gear, at least for E-Arena.
भाई E-Arena भाई हाथ वाला रखो.
More ammo.
वैसे भी बढ़िया यार.
Back down towards that compound on the south side they held earlier on, because this is a hard south shift away from Mayran. E-Arena getting thrown a bone here, but still they have 3 players. They are not at full force. Let's see how they play this out.
In the midst of this, that elongated battle that's gone on the whole map here between S2G and Ulf continues, edge guarding them coming out of the blue and keeping shots on target. It's worked out slightly worse for Ulf, down to a duo, but we do say goodbye to Solke on S2G, so a triple threat remains there. There was some fighting over from Nonshin onto OG inside Meiran as well. They were taking pot shots at them, so a three-man squad living on amongst that. And 4Thrives consistently keeping their head on a swivel as well. They were peppering bullets over to the E Arena encounter with Godlike. Yes, they got some knocks, but none of those converted into points.
S2G desperately trying to make the cross right now. Couple of shots, but the vehicle, it is very low HP, smoking now and on fire. They have to get out, but they're just about in the zone. Same can't be said for Ulf there, but Alula's going to continue to put the hurt on. Enigma Galaxy wanted to move around on that eastern side, see what they could pick up, but all those points have been dashed away. Still a 5-pointer on the game with the 3 players that Enigma Galaxy hold. They're on the other side to E Arena. I like this though, actually. They've got Joker as well as Schweppes playing the north.
40 का चिकन आ रहा है, मुझे फीलिंग आ रही है 40 का चिकन आ रहा है। एरिना का एक खत्म हो गया, ठीक है, 3 मैन हो गई है। एनएस निग्मा गैलेक्सी का भी एक है, सही है। यूएलए पड़ी हुई है यार, यूएलए लास्ट पे। होप फॉर द बेस्ट। लोकेशन बहुत लेवल की है फोर्थ थ्रेड्स के पास, both level.
Did set himself up just as you suspected early, and then have played a little bit more of a scouting play to keep themselves at least aware of what's occurring up between the setup of 4Thrives and OG. There's been a lot of noise, a lot of free info from that.
Don't mind this too much. Just trying to create a little bit of a dip to play around as players will attempt to leave from Meiran. That's OG on the north side. Likely first to leave. It's a gamble play, but they know they're close now. They know they're close. As soon as they start getting into those placement points, they get a couple more eliminations. They're set. Their goal in this game was far easier than most. Not looking for that chicken dinner, man. Back up
OP, OP.
Goodness me.
और लेवल का ज़ोन बन रहा है।
Back up north, and now Schweppes has got to go pick up Mormon.
अगर इसमें चिकन आ गया ना, समझो कमबैक है फोर्थ थ्रेड्स में।
Plays up by the roadside. Not definite this ends in the urban area. Enigma Galaxy might want to make a send soon.
OG का knock.
Loses one on a knock. Not flush though.
40 का भी जो है ना 0-1.
Fantastic right now this game. 11 eliminations, holding a strong 2-2 split inside of Meiran, controlling both the run out from OG and scouting towards Nongshim.
With Enigma turning their attention onto Flash, you can see Schweppes had already identified.
OG का finish हो गया एक.
Far over. He was waiting for an opportunity to actually shoot some bullets their way. That was the
नहीं,
call for it. No raw connection from
पहले का
this.
नहीं है.
He'll spot Satan on the rotate with the vehicle as well. Still debating if he can actually get some hot shots here, trusting in his source from distance. And this is also amongst Zalula that are pushing up onto 4Thrives. They knew they were fighting OG. They took a few pot shots, but now Quick's trying to take at least a little bit more aggressive space off them.
Enigma Galaxy in a struggle position.
Flash versus ULD.
It's very slow here. They don't have to peek too much. Ralph already down there. Should go down to the play zone. Enigma Galaxy is going to try and go for that southern push on this one. Like you said, Schweppes identified their position very early. The shots are coming through. They don't want these points to be stolen from the players inside of Meiran. Schweppes opens up, but looks like those points might be going another way. Nongshim getting some great damage, just playing into that engagement between Alula as well as Flash there. Gonna be long grenades on this one though, Jackie.
Decent shark, that one might be good. Bounces into the back, it's chip damage, but no conversion. Ooh, bursting just in front of Satan. They've got one smoke to try and pop. Mate, this is dastardly. You are trapped in a hellish position whilst the other squads are scrapping through each other, so the lobby's starting to thin here.
It's tempting for E Arenas just to push this. Getting in towards 6th place, right? You're very close to that point with 2 eliminations. You could just sack your game here to go for it. Joker's going to try and get a different angle on this one, move up over towards Mormon, put some more emphasis over towards Meiran. We go a little bit further south here. The game actually does open up for E Arena mainly. 4Thrives also have a good capability of leaving from this area. Wonder how many vehicles they've still got left with the tires in play. Yasser will take down Bozy, and that's the end of Flash. I mean, Nongshim Red Force has been consistently peppering that engagement, but it is Alula who's got away with the majority of the points on that one with 11.
इस मैच में 40 वर्सेस OG होगा.
There's been a lot of harassment of all of these squads from Nonshin and 4-5s, consistently taking pot shots out, making the fights more uncomfortable for either team involved. For E-Arena, if Nonshin actually keep this up in terms of a safe placement in the zone, some big plays, you might need to shut them down. Going to pull slightly away from their setup though, centering up around the 4-5s crew of E-Arena, knowing they can advance a little bit on this.
भाई मैं तो नहीं दिखा सकता अभी फिलहाल जो स्ट्रीम कर रहे हैं वो दिखाते हैं. मैं तो वॉच पार्टी टाइप होता है ना वो कर रहा हूँ. POV हम नहीं चेंज कर सकते.
Very cool to see both E-Arena and Nongshim Red Force. None of it was small talk at the start of the day. They were certainly looking to make it very, very difficult for any other team immediately going into match 2. Putting the worry on, requiring teams to keep tabs on them, potentially even hunt them down to keep their tournament alive. Because as soon as they smash, the game's finished. There's no longer any more opportunity to rectify those mistakes from previous days. You will just be locked in where you currently stand. Which is why it's such great news that 4-5s are having such a big pop-off here on game 1.
They're bringing the heat, showing that they're handy with the steal. And for Alula, try as they might to absorb points from this lobby, they're so far down that it's been uncomfortable.
What happened there?
I mean, it was danger close, mate.
Oh,
Got one knock on
ये क्या किया?
but it took down a member amongst the commotion for 4-5s.
T2-4 के नेट से फलक फट गया और उसने किल चोरी कर लिया.
Now for Lack, like you say, a bit of an accidental play there, but not the one you want to see. You always praise for Lack's gunplay. Basically a legend in close quarters, so to lose him in an urban finish, disastrous result here. Hyunbin though will find R3B. To send a nade over the top immediately to confirm. Is that in the window? I was going to say, that is a long lob on that one. By this time, it's a bit more difficult to hit that one. But OG lose WizGod. He's getting picked up though, off in the distance as OG moves in, but it's Joke from the sidelines actually finding Aru. They're consistently harassing from this outside edge. Played that compound down towards the south side and then just playing off this ridge side around the road, but ooh, it is time to leave now.
Gonna have to force the issue, jump back behind the driving wheel and get into the zone. For OG, it's so uncomfortable because you are just being completely cut off from all angles. The backline's covered by E-Arena, nades from the front in from 4-5s. They cannot peek in any regard.
Flips.
He's going in crazy. Okay, into the building. 4-5's ready for it. Zypher strikes first. Sweep, sweeps under the rug. Goodbye, good night. T24 with a nade from the top. He sees Joker, but it's Lord that steals it from Nigma Galaxy. Nade over onto WizGod in the meantime, as well as Yasha falls to Hyunbin. It's all turning into carnage.
More man.
Nice.
Last left alive here.
40-40.
I think it's one more.
यार वो फलक ना ना फिनिश होता. चिकन पक्का था. चांसेस कम हो गए हैं. Hope for the best.
One more elimination would also do the trick. They want to get themselves up towards 5th place, but it would be so awful to go into match 2 1 point away from Smash ruling. Does not have a position to play though. Everyone's completely looking his way. Might have been better to hedge his bets down towards Nigma Galaxy and just try and take a one-on-one trade. Just wonder if they actually know how many points they've currently garnered on this game and how close it gets them. You'd expect them to, right?
IQ का nade.
Honestly, for 4-5s, it's probably worked out. In
OP. OP.
Mate, the nade on Mormon. Okay, goodbye you.
Oh, they're on it. They're on it. So it was. 6th place is fine. We're good.
Whew. They're safe for now. That's what they needed. And with Schweppes charging into that compound, he gave them some extra ammunition. They were having to make concessions.
अब OG को पकड़ेंगे, लेकिन
80 rounds of 5.56 left for them. They've been able to restock up. Nonshin though still making plays, and they got loads of ammo to spray with. Shots down on target from XCY. Hits onto another man. OG, you have just been trapped, taking punch after punch.
यार ये मैंने काम रखा हुआ था.
They're punch drunk in the back line.
For Nongshim Red Force is where all the storylines converge. chicken dinner would be ideal, but a few more eliminations and a second place would get them into
हाँ 40 यार IQ के नेट से नॉक हुआ और IQ या T4 के नेट से नॉक हुआ और OG के एक बंदे ने किल चोरी कर लिया
opens up the door here for them to move in. Hazaifa leaning onto this one.
Oh यार IQ
AKOP's down, leaving just Wizgod. Goodness me, Enigma Galaxy still going, and it's Lord of all people. Oh, finally taken out, but top 3 now. Nongshim Red Force ever closer to a chicken dinner. And set themselves up alongside with E-Arena at the top.
The solo savagery was nice to watch, but now it all goes down to the 2 squads that were in a prime position on Rondo for so long. The duo of 4 Fribes versus the full force of Nongshim. They charge up onto the compound. T24 top side. Hazaifa rearming himself. Shotgun to play with if they come charging through the door. So easy. Dashes the nade onto the lower levels. Wants to ascend up. Nade in. Masking some of the sound. So easy to peek this. Looking for the third angle. Just through the window. Catches a glimpse, but they read it right. They try and keep him pinned back. He's got a heal.
XZY, got to be a good nade through the window. Good damage off the back of that one. The burst is lovely. The play zone will take down Hazaifa. And Nongshim Red Force start the day off with a chicken dinner. Can they grab another
nice comeback
to close down the entire tournament?
Nice comeback.
They've got Red Force, they've got Daka. This team looks good.
Nongshim have seen red, and the aggression has come out when it's needed. Fighting harder, pulling out huge eliminations on Rondo, and still playing so consistent with their setups.
I mean, a technical back-to-back as well from yesterday. Last Miramar into first Rondo. Nongshim is just a different beast coming into these last 2 days of finals. Especially coming off such a long 8-game day set. Into day 3, you're in the finals. It's getting nerve-wracking. You just open with a chicken dinner. These guys must be so confident.
They don't look rattled. They don't look bothered whatsoever by the sheer pressure that's on their shoulders. We know there's going to be a new champion, and Nongshim are eyeing up that trophy. They want it branded with their organization, their legacy.
ये बस ना लोकेशन अच्छी थी, छत पे चढ़ के बैठे हुए थे और इनके चारों बंदे थे. हमारे 2 प्लेयर वेस्ट हुए हैं, वो भी बहुत बुरी तरह वेस्ट हुए हैं.
Just fantastic stuff.
और अपने नेट से और दूसरा OG के बंदे से वाला, I think so.
Fourth Thrive also making some more aggressive plays, which is great to see.
लेकिन बहुत अलग खेल रहा है, बहुत अलग. नहीं अभी तो चांसेस हैं.
Losing for fourth rise is a fairly big deal, but OG also getting in towards a late game. Aru making some good calls that match. I think Enigma Galaxy also was very resilient that game to get where they did from where they were playing, so difficult, and then Lord able to sneak his way in.
Oh man, you were bigging up Lord earlier into the tournament, right? Saying it's the fact that you've got Coops and Lord. That sort of collective in unison that's doing so much for this team. And again, there, in a situation where it felt like you were out, Lord goes off with the solo shenanigans. Oh yeah.
Hey, do you know what that is?
He's got the Brandon on the go, mate.
That is the stamp to get into the Winners Club. Nongshim fighting, we'll be back soon.
Hi everyone, I'm Rick, producer of PUBG Mobile. For the past 8 years, PUBG Mobile has continued to grow together with players around the world. And even today, we are still fully committed to this battleground. We are continuing to invest more resources, improve the experience, and bring PUBG Mobile to more players in more ways. Today, I'm excited to share something important with you. New app, PUBG Mobile Lite. First, PUBG Mobile Lite is not about making a smaller game with a smaller experience. It's about maintaining the high-quality PUBG Mobile standard while giving players a lighter and more accessible way to play. We know that different players have different needs. Some players want the full PUBG Mobile experience with the richest content, all sorts of highest quality gameplays, and everything the game has to offer. For those players, PUBG Mobile will continue to be the best choice, but some players want to jump into battle faster, save more stories, and reduce the burden on their devices. That is why we are creating PUBG Mobile Lite. PUBG Mobile Lite is a lighter version of PUBG Mobile, built for players who want a faster and more flexible way to enter the battleground. The initial download is only around 1 GB on Android and under 2 GB on iOS. There is no extra mandatory package before your first match. Once the download is complete, you can load in and get straight into the battleground. We also made PUBG Mobile Lite more flexible. You can choose which extra modules to download based on how you like to play. At the same time, PUBG Mobile Lite is still connected to the PUBG Mobile experience. The classic Arango map, supplies, and core combat are designed to match PUBG Mobile, so the battle experience remains authentic and uncompromised. If you already have a PUBG Mobile account, you can log in with it on PUBG Mobile Lite. Your own items can carry over, so you can continue using the outfits you love. You can also team up with your friends on PUBG Mobile, so your squad can stay together with no social barrier. Going forward, PUBG Mobile Lite will stay updated alongside PUBG Mobile, so players can enjoy new content together. We are targeting an official launch PUBG Mobile Lite later this year. Please stay tuned for more updates, and you can pre-register in the store from August 25th. Whether you are discovering PUBG Mobile for the first time or returning to the battleground, we are excited to welcome you to PUBG Mobile Lite. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. See you on the battleground.
We will see you on the battleground. PUBG Mobile Lite pre-register August 25th. I'm excited for it, Max. I know you'll probably end up making a video about it on your Instagram, which is what? Remind me again?
It's Maxman Cast right now on Instagram. But no, I get comments, I'm not joking, Seven,
Yes.
every single day about PUBG Mobile Lite. When is it coming back? When is it going to get an update? It's getting an update later this year. Oh my goodness, the world is going to be loving some more PUBG Mobile action.
100%. I'm excited for it. Hopefully you guys are. But I'm excited for the match that we just had here, because E-Arena definitely able to cross that threshold for being in the smash zone.
I mean, they truly analysed the situation. They had every opportunity to get rid of NGX from that, I guess, southern side of zone. But no, they kind of already knew that they did enough to hit the threshold. And I mean, it was kind of all to Mormon's sort of intel on OG and 4 Thrives. They had quite a bit of line of sight on them, their position in zone, but incredibly calculated from them. But of course, we gotta talk about the tippity top 4 Thrives right now.
We do gotta talk about 4 Thrives because we were expecting aggressiveness out of this team,
Yes.
and boy, did we get it.
Boy, did we get it. 4 Thrives coming in hot today. This is exactly what I wanted to see from them. Did they slow down just slightly when I would have liked them to be a little bit more aggressive onto OG, onto some of those other teams, you know, as the zone started closing up around them? Yes, a little bit more mobile, just a little bit more aware. However, they bided their time. They were patient with what they did. When it came time to actually make those fights, they were able to just flip the switch, turn on that aggression, get those eliminations, and so many points. They are just flying off that leaderboard. This is why I said yesterday they still can do it. If they have a day like they just had in this rondo, if they continue doing that, they still can do it.
Especially when you have a player like IQ, the IGL of this squad,
goddamn.
putting up the numbers, performing for this squad and clutching up. But we also got to talk about Notch and Red Force because they were the winners of this match, Max, and they played that out perfectly. And I think they might have been able to also pass that threshold.
Yeah, like of course GG4 Thrives, but Nongshim Red Force doing so much parkour in the city, swiping every other team under the rug. And actually, they're trying to aim for 122. I believe they did make it. We'll check out the leaderboards very soon. But Nongshim Red Force giving E-Arena an absolute run for their money. And it is so rare to see 2 teams on the very first game enter the Smash Zone. It might have just happened today.
it might happen today. And something that might happen today is that we might see teams that might not be challenging for that first place, putting up great performances. And we saw that exactly out of Godlike. This squad came to play. This squad has absolutely nothing to lose, Slays, because they were going after elimination. Actually, before we even talk about Godlike, I want to see what the overall is looking like, where the teams are currently standing, how far away some of the other teams are from there. Noxian Red Force is actually in first place with 123 points. Now we have two teams that are able to win in the next match.
Oh my goodness, by the way, eArena should also be colored, I'm pretty sure, because they are also in the Smash Zone. You just need to get above or tie 122 points. So if Noxian Red Force or eArena now, Lace, get a chicken dinner, that's it, tournament over, and we will be crowning our champions.
I know, and it's so incredibly exciting because both of these teams, especially when it comes to those sort of placement points, look at Nongshim at 40 placement points, eArena with 34. They have every opportunity and drive to be able to secure that chicken dinner. Now, Seven, you asked me a little bit about Godlike, which I know was on the second page. And the reason we want to highlight that is because they were sort of sitting more under that middle threshold. But with 10 eliminations early game, another 4 as they sort of rotate in on that northeast side. And then S-Power recovering the team to bring them back in. But I want to give like a kind of a little special shout out to Admino having an absolute banger of a game too. I think it was about 7 eliminations just by themselves, and they were able to sort of scout and hold that, and just getting like that 15 elimination points on the board is insanity, especially from where they were sitting earlier today.
But I want to check real quick the rankings. We did see for a quick second there. 11 points away for 4 Thrives now. Jumping around from the middle pack. 11 points away from top 3. The comeback is happening.
This is what I keep saying. This is
4 Thrives comeback?
4 Thrives comeback?
4 Thrives comeback? Because this team, I actually got a chance to talk with Falak. If you want to check that out, go to my Instagram at the 7WG. But we're now seeing the race to Smash. There you go. You see 4 Thrives, 23 points away, which this is a perfect start for that team, getting more than 15 eliminations, getting in the top 2, and now they are just 23 points away. And if we know anything for this squad, with the way that they're playing, with what we have seen out of them in PMGO Season 1 this year, they could make it in the next match, as long as one of the 2 teams at the top don't end up winning it.
Well, exactly, yeah. So this is the case, this is the scenario where, you know, neither of those teams, Nongshim or eArena, they don't win next match. We do go into game 3. If 4 Thrives are allowed another good win, I say allowed because we don't want any hot dropping going on. They might get targeted, you never know. However, if they're allowed one more game, if we do go into game 3, 4 Thrives need another top 5. They need another several points, 8, 9 eliminations. There we go. Another few of those, and they are in Smash ruling. They are a contender, and they could just do a back-to-back global win.
And I think we did end up getting today, Maxman. I think we might have gotten a Maxman grenade on that day.
Oh, really? Did we now? It's time for your favorite segment of the day. It's Maxman's grenade of today. Let's check it out. Which play is going to be here? It's going to be in the city. This 4 Thrives. It's Falak over there looking for a KOP. He gets it done right away. The man is an absolute menace, but he's too much of a menace because T24 had to take him down. Oh!
Give him a boom boom back to the lobby. It's Max grenade of the day.
Sorry, some background music for you, Max.
That was a great. We got the drums, we got the jingle too. But yeah, for that team, I mean, overall, it's a great start here for the final day of PMWC at EWC 26. A great performance out of those teams that we were expecting a good performance out of, right? We talked about already eArena having to do what they needed to do. Now Nongshim being able to show up when they needed to show up, starting off great here with the win as well. One thing that we do need to talk about is possibly this team's being targeted. When I say being targeted, I don't mean getting a hot drop right away, but we are going to be looking at those rotations, because if we look at eArena has 2 wins so far this PMWC in Erangel, and in the finals, eArena has already gotten 1 win in day 1, match 3 in Erangel.
Actually, I do want to say, I was talking to Kalaris earlier. Nongshim Red Force, they got back-to-back wins, right, on the island finish. So that's going to be something that you got to keep into mind also, because they did win PMMI by Smash ruling. Literally, all of the storylines are merging together in favor of the South Korean team of Nongshim Red Force. They could be looking fantastic. But of course, that's if eArena get a win, or if Nongshim Red Force get a win. But Niptura, we got to keep in mind, it's not Rondo anymore. It's no Recall Tower anymore, meaning the teams that are not currently in the Smash Zone is going to be even more complicated for them to reach 122 points.
Oh, absolutely. And then you've got, you know, when we've seen this a lot of times in, you know, Smash Rolling, Last Day, all of this sort of stuff, you do tend to see other teams actually go ahead and change their drop location to avoid getting targeted. But you're right, Seven, right? We are going to be looking at those rotations. We need Fourth Rise, we need Nongshim, we need E-Arena, we need Enigma Galaxy as well. All of those teams. Aurora did not have a good game at all, so they're still chasing that. They need to make sure their rotations are on point, that they might change them a little bit just to avoid any early eliminations, because right now it is now or never. We got 2 teams in Smash Rolling. You do not want to take any chances going out earlier.
You're gonna have to use those spidey senses if you're currently at the top. If you're Fourth Thrives, you want to continue to frag out. Here you go, you can actually have it back now. Thanks so much for leaving guard. If you're some of the other teams, E-Arena, Nongshim, you gotta watch out for everything going on your way. And I know right now around the arena, we do have a special guest crawling by.
Ek Parcham, Ek Pakistan. Celebrate Pakistan with J-Dot with a flat 25 and 40% off from 6th to 16th August.
Spider-Man is officially back in PUBG Mobile. Some of you may remember the collaboration in 2022, and this time he's returning to Erangel. Suit up and explore the brand new Central Square. You can move across rooftops, run across ceilings, and hunt down enemy squads. But it wouldn't be Spider-Man without the powers. So, you can grab Peter Parker's gloves and you can web swing your way around the city, or you can even use your webs in combat to slow down or trap your opponents. And of course, there's so much to discover beyond the fights. You can visit Peter Parker's apartment and hunt for hidden Easter eggs inspired by the world of Spider-Man. From Peter's messages, to secret clues, to hidden surprises that you're going to have to find yourselves. And remember your favorite Spider-Man movies? Well, here's your chance to recreate those iconic moments. Maybe you pull off a perfect rescue, maybe you escape a fight by swinging away at the last second, or maybe you and your squad just stop everything to take the perfect Spider-Man shot. So, if you haven't jumped in yet, grab your squad and experience Spider-Man in PUBG Mobile. Also, Spider-Man isn't only swinging around Erangel today. We have got Spider-Man on stage right here with us right now, and he didn't come empty-handed. He's going to be handing out PUBG Mobile merch in and amongst the arena, so make some noise for Spider-Man!
It's good to see the heroes back in action on every single front, from Spider-Man to Hyunbin and the rest of Nongshim. Heroes is the name of the game today. These teams have been heroes in their own right. For Nongshim Red Force, what a push to hold down Meiran and find their way to that smash zone. E-Arena held their nerve. They played that west side well, and they just got across that line. It was surgical precision on that 122.
Surgical is the perfect word, because Rondo did not disappoint. Yeah, we got Spider-Man here to save the day, but we got 2 massive threats in the lobby now. We've got E-Arena and Nongshim Red Force that can end the tournament right here, right now, with one single chicken dinner.
That's all it's going to take. We saw Nongshim just do it. Can they pull it out the bag again? But it's not just those 2 teams. As the desk, as Blank and Jackie were saying before as well,
there are other teams waiting in the wings, now staged with the points that they earned from that previous game, from that rondo, to jump into the smash zone. There are probably at least 6 teams that can do it this match and join them. So if we don't get one of those smash chicken dinners, it is going to get hotter and hotter as the day goes on, because I don't think we're only going to see 2 teams breaking that barrier today.
Yeah, I'm glad we were able to get on the cast here for it to at least cast one game, right?
Absolutely.
This is absolutely insane here. My hopes and dreams are coming true. Could we see 6, 7 teams in the Smash Zone with one single squad that could win it? That would be insane. At the same time, though, right? You gotta stop these 2 squads, because if E-Arena or Noxious Red Force win right here, that's it. This tournament is over, and one of them is walking away with $500,000.
Hey man, I caught Coach Pecco for Nigma Galaxy on the walk over to the caster booth just now, and he was saying, I asked him, hey, you gonna target? And he was like, if we know it's them, things might get a little bit dicey. Hey, you know, I can't say, but yeah, I feel like that is the sort of situation where teams who are certainly below those top 2 will really hard commit if they find one of these teams in a fight. The third-party targeting will definitely be high on the menu for a lot of these teams.
It has to be. It really does. I got a chance to talk to Knight, as a matter of fact, the coach from Furia, and because in Brazil, these guys have had so much practice when it comes to the Smash ruling. Furia themselves have smashed in multiple of their regional tournaments. So I was talking to them, I was like, hey, exactly the same question, right? If you see a couple teams in the Smash Zone, will you guys go out of your way to take them out? And they said, well, at a certain point, we have to. You know what I'm saying? We know what's at stake. If we have to risk a bad game to ensure that we can continue in this tournament to possibly come back, we're going to do it, right? So even if it's a crash and we lose the fight, we're taking a couple of those players with us. So the whole lobby, honestly, really needs to have that kind of same mentality, because if you want to be able to move up the leaderboards, there are massive jumps in prize pools as we go from 3rd, 4th, 5th place. So you want to be able to stay in this tournament as long as possible, and this one's going to be a fun one. We got a nice Eastern Circle.
I don't know about nice. It's certainly an Eastern Circle, though. It's going to push all the way out towards Milta, east of it, and Milta Power. Lepovka's in there as well. A lot of water here, Jukes. So that is going to be tricky to navigate. Nigma Galaxy will not be getting hot drop currently, but Ulf might try and step in. Ida clashing with Tianba over on the western side. A very, very close drop.
And of course, we got our big threat of the lobby on a bike. Finally finding a vehicle here. And they're going to go ahead and be looting all this north side of Georgeville hospital area. And since it is such an Eastern Circle, right, I wonder how much these teams are going to be kind of even thinking about possibly a rotation camp. Things like that are going to start coming into play here. And yeah, man, this is going to get intense.
Yeah, a lot of teams looking to put pressure on as the fight in near Gatka between Ida and Tianba is still popping off. Remember, this is an adjustment from Ida to move out this way with the plane path as south as it was. They are going to get stuck straight in with Tianba, and neither team is looking super happy about it. Aching on the inside of the building. Swain on the top floor now has Eagle to contend with as well. Drops a nade down to the ground floor. He tries to fend off the remaining 2 players. QZZ unlikely to get picked back up here. Does bleed out in the end. And a step forwards. Swain rebuffs. One more barrel, but it's not enough to blast it back. Tianba survived, but with only 2 players. And Horror can just move in and maybe just sweep this one through. A very strange hot drop coming through over on Gatka.
Terrible. I mean, honestly, Ida's disrupted this lobby so much, and Tianba are devastated. Now down to just 2 single players. Aching jumps out, just desperate, trying to do something for his squad, and Eagle is just standing still, just saying, like, not like this. Not like this.
Horror have been a little bit quieter during the course of these finals. Not the fans, that is, the players. The fans have been plenty loud, and we've loved it, but they haven't quite had the performance that we were maybe expecting from them coming into the games in these finals. It's not going to be enough. I don't see them catching up when we've already got 2 teams in that smash zone. It is a bit unfortunate. It is not great, but they can look pretty good in game. We know that. And one of the ways that you can look good in game at home is with the Naruto skins. Make sure you're heading into game to pick up the character sets, the Ninetales Fury org, and you can look as good as anyone. taking on those ninja challenges.
Yeah, get that ninjutsu going. And honestly, yeah, it seems like Aura, OG, they're going to need to bust some of that out if they want to be able to make a crazy run for it. Mathematically, it is still possible, right? If Aura, they start with 3, they're going to need a 20-point game here, a 20-point game in the next one, and maybe even another one after that.
It's triple back-to-back.
It's triple back-to-backs, you know what I'm saying? We still have enough games to do it. It's just going to be tough, especially considering that there's going to be quite a few teams in that Smash zone very, very quickly here. That's if this game even continues on after this one. So a lot of different factors to play out. The problem also is the fact that we get later and later into this tournament, the desperation is going to raise tremendously, right? So these teams in the mid-pack are going to even start playing hyper-aggressive because they're going to know, right? Their coaches are going to tell them, hey, man, look, you made it all the way over here to Paris, all right? You either get 20 points or this was all for nothing at a certain point, right?
Well, that's, I mean, there's still placements on the line and all of that sort of thing. I'm just looking at the map at the moment, and I'm seeing that Nongshim Red Force might be in with their first fight in a moment, which is going to enlighten the rest of the lobby as to sort of where they're playing, what sort of conflicts they could be running into. A 2-2 split across Milta right now for Nongshim, as they did not fully or firmly hold the bridge against Alula, so that crossing does come through. And that central glut of teams, and now they start to take shots. Alula in the hovercraft have plenty of armor to rebuff the first volley, but there's more still being flung down range, and that's going to have to divert them on the long road. They find the knock, and there's the flush. Nongshim Red Force extract the first point.
Wow, okay, so they end up getting a point on that. Pretty wild. And Alula are in this next circle, down a player. The thing is, though, if any team nearby happen to hear those shots, they know where Nongshim Red Force is now. So that is going to be a factor, but they are in a really good spot for this circle for now.
I mean, teams should be aware, right, of where they're playing based on the fact that it was Alula that they knocked, and Nongshim Red Force generally going to be in this sort of location. They'll know that Alula are coming up from Novo. So it should be a pretty certain bead on it for a lot of teams in the lobby, but nobody is likely to send out this way. Maybe Aurora could try and crash into it and cause some problems. Vitality are actually holding the west bridge, which is interesting, over on that ferry pier side of things. So if Aurora decide, you know what, we're not going to go over to that east side, we're going to try and break west, Vitality is still lying in wait for it, which I'm not too sure about. I'm not sure if I like that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough here as you got some pretty wild rotations here. Speaking of wild rotations, we got Enigma Galaxy rocking their 2-2 split.
The same again.
Same again. You know, I actually talked to Ralph a little earlier this morning, asked him like, hey, you're going to continue to do it? They're like, yeah, you know, it's worked for us in the past. We're going to try it out. We've noticed that on the west side, had a little bit of unluck with some pretty crazy pushes, but we're going to give it our shot here, and we'll see if it pays off for them.
I mean, they did win a chicken dinner from a circle similar to this, on a rotation similar to this. Obviously, it was a different lobby. It was a different time. We were different people, Jukes. We were so much younger.
We've grown so much.
Yeah, exactly. We've come so far, but they're going to look for that regroup at some point. Getting through for that regroup is really the difficult part that we've seen for Enigma Galaxy on this regroup rotation. Getting through the glut of teams right now, I'm not too sure how that's going to work. They may have to go on the boat, maybe head up all the way north of Lepovka and go all the way around. That would be, I mean, maybe not sensible, but possible, certainly. It's difficult, and they are going to get on the road right now to see what they can find. E-Arena are also starting their move in from South George. As we can see, we're on board of them, just passing the north side of school to head towards the center of this circle as it centers up on that Milta Hill near prison and mansion.
Rotations are coming as we are zooming in to Erangel. What kind of circle we're going to get here? All right, just beautiful center up, very typical. A lot of these teams were expecting this, and they got it. Now you see Enigma Galaxy, right? They're going to be on both sides of this circle. It's going to be very difficult for them to get to their teammates here, so we'll see how this pays off. But we still got some teams still trying to get in this zone. E-Arena pushing in super late because they land over there in North George. Aura still in Severny. And you got Vitality going on the other bridge here, so they're going to be super late in the circle as well.
Yeah, Vitality's still on the west bridge. I don't like it. I think this is way too long. You're overcommitting. No one's turned up. Not too sure what the game plan was there for Vitality. It's not the same team we saw from their stages.
Sad.
So
Yeah,
unfortunate.
It's the same thing we saw in PMGO too.
Yeah, it's a big drop-off, which I'm sad to see. The Galaxy, they get their back duo caught up in a regroup, and this is exactly what I was worried about. It's only going to be Lord, his vehicle's on fire, and he goes down because he hops out. As it's on fire, they lose their back too. I guess, yeah, Ralph, keep doing that. See how that works out for you.
Yeah, I saw his player cam, and I could see he said, what the heck? You know, oh, what happened? How is this?
Why are there players here in the middle of the circle?
How did I get knocked?
What? Oh, that's crazy.
That's super unfortunate. The 2-2 split, man. I mean, losing players like that is so rough. We'll see how it all continues on, though. That's if we have another match after this, because Nongshim Red Force are on the south side of Milta, full squad, looking dangerous. On the other end, you got the other Titans of the lobby, E-Arena, holding down the north side. So both these teams able to secure a position as a full four-man team.
A vice grip on the circle right now, and our teams will look to try and slip that. This is a replay on Lord getting knocked. You can see he drove up. It was actually the hop out that got him. He'd already taken enough damage and hadn't slowed down enough. He hopped out of the vehicle, kept that momentum, and it was the fall. He hit that ground a little bit too fast.
The ankles.
Just rolled the ankle, man. Rolled the ankle. And now Coops and Satan have to do it all on their loans. And it's a bad time. It's a bad time. I feel like it may have worked before. Teams maybe weren't necessarily expecting something like that, and they weren't looking for a duo to be rotating in such an early fashion, especially because they know, oh, well, these players haven't lost, so it should be a full four come from there. But there's been enough games now when Enigma Galaxy have done this that teams should be like, oh, yeah, that's what they do. Let's just clamp down on that.
You know, it's one of those strategies that I don't know whether to be. It's just one of those strats that's just like, okay, it's different. You know what I'm saying? We don't see
one of those bad ones. Yeah, I've heard of those.
It's bad when it doesn't work, right? That's the thing. Is like if it does, it's like, wow, maybe more teams should try this out. But after that, it's like, I think we just stay together. You know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate, especially considering that they're in 5th place, man. If they would have got a 20-point game here, boom, they would have been in that smash zone. Let's see where this next circle goes, though. And things are going to start heating up because we get a nice center up. E-Arena are going to be over there in Lipovka, so they're going to have to fight their way into this next circle. But like you mentioned, it is a vice script right now. North and southern side is where the big threats lie. In the middle of the map, though, you got S2G, you got Enigma Galaxy as that duo. They had four, right? It is what it is. But you got Team Flash on that ridgeline, too. That is a very, very strong spot. They can be able to hold a lot of real estate there.
That's true over on the east side, but I feel like they do need to move into the west edge of it a little bit further, which is exactly what Bo has decided to do there. They have to transition forward. The 3-building compound that sits sort of in front of them is viable, but it can be very difficult to hold against teams up on the north, especially if you get crashed. Multiple angles can crash onto it as well, so a little bit tenuous when you have to leave that ridgeline for Team Flash. For Nongshim, they're going to play nice and isolated on the southeast side. Remember, it's not big point-scoring games that are necessary. That's not what's going to be weighing on the mind of Nongshim, of E-Arena. It is just that chicken dinner. Be the last player standing. That's the only thing that should be running through their mind right now to try and secure that tournament title, the global stage glory.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought. And I hope it doesn't change their play style, because I'm thinking back to PMMI where Tianba had such a massive lead, and they kind of implored that same strategy. Like, hey, let's just put up some basic points. They had so many points, as long as nobody smashed, they were going to win it for the most part. But they changed play styles, and they paid the price for it big time, going from what we thought was going to be an automatic first to like 3rd place. So
yeah,
we'll see how Nongshim, who definitely learned from that, if they're going to replicate it or play the game that got them here in the first place.
4 Thrives in that last match were able to ignite those afterburners, send them into the stratosphere on the point scoring. And now 4 Thrives want to keep that pace, but they're kind of cut out on this northwest edge. They are boxed in by that prison cliff area on the east side of them. They're going to have to pick a direction and commit. Towards Vitality may be a good idea to start, but you've got Godlike behind that, and maybe Ulf on the top, on the lip of those prison cliffs could be a target as well. But either way, it feels like a third-party target.
I can't lie, I'm so hyped for Godlike right now. After seeing that Rondo match, they put up so many points. If they would have won that fight with E-Arena, they would have, who knows where they'd be on the leaderboards here. But they put themselves in a good position. They're still in 10th place, 72 points. They're going to go for the back-to-back chicken dinner. They realize it, like, hey, we got to get it done here. If they do, it would be the comeback of a lifetime. You know that their fans are excited. They're hyped up.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for this next zone. And it's going to go on over to the northeast side. And which team gets blessed here, John?
Team Flash, right? E-Arena on the north side, on that road down from Lipovka. It helps them out. I wouldn't say blessed, though. I feel like they are still in a little bit of a dangerous position, especially with Horror descending on them. Look at that eastern sweep. That could be dangerous. That could be trouble. As Coops takes a knock in the meantime as well on the south side, bleeding out another player. Not good news. But Horror, look at a crash maybe towards E-Arena. I do think it is Team Flash that has been the most blessed by this zone, though. On that northeast side, it's exactly what you highlighted, right? That ridge line, the buildings in front of it, really, really good. But only if it goes out their way. Well, guess what? Here we are. And now S2G try and push in. They're being denied access. As Horror clash with 4 Thrives, who have, okay, they've lapped over the north side of prison, and they're third-partying on the rotate here on the north.
Fights happening all over the place. Now we're going to be looking at Enigma Galaxy. Satan, all by himself, going to be challenging Al-Ula here as we switch over. 4 Thrives get eliminated. That is a huge loss right before the 100-point mark. There goes Enigma Galaxy as well. That's 5th and 6th out.
And now Aurora are trying to sweep past Noxian Red Force. As Horror picking up those points is a great result for them. 7 eliminations now on the north side, right next to E-Arena, who take a knock as well. Dirty K has gone down. S2G battling for the middle of it and taking damage from every single angle. Ulf will do a lot of damage to them, but S2G managed to weather that storm. A lot of damage across the board on these rotates, Jukes.
And then here we go. We're going to catch this fight here as S2G are hurt. Vitality very, very close near to them. And it was OG that are putting up some points on the board. They end up getting 1. Kamikaze on the other end. Now finally the fight has calmed down, but this is a battle for the central position in this circle.
I mean, this is another team, S2G, who is within reach of that smash point barrier up to 122, but they have just had the win taken out their sails. 113 right now. They need to get 9 more points on this match, and with 11 more teams alive as a solo, Kamikaze, has he got something magic up his sleeve? I do not think so, which is going to leave Aurora to really be the only challengers to that smash point duo.
And Aurora are definitely a threat, that's for sure. 110 points. 12 is super easy for them to get in this kind of position. They're gonna have to fight their way through it though. CS Power getting a knock from Godlike. They're down to 2 players, and that is WizGod gonna get that confirmation on 2 Power. Only 1 player up left for Godlike.
Oh, E-Arena did manage to just roll over to the ridgeline there on the shoreline. But Mormon's been spotted. Okay, Sky is still going. And the Arena not safe yet, not out of the woods. As Godlike and Orangutan still continue to clash. Up the stairs, Godlike. Look for it, but the drop down is caught. And there's the crash. Here it is. Take 1 down and the Arena fall. Only 1 team can stop it all now. Longshim with a big opportunity on the south side, but they're right on the edge.
The whole lobby breathing a sigh of relief now that at least 1 of the Titans is gone. It's still up to Nongshim Red Force, though. They're on the south side, playing carefully, waiting in the shadows to strike. It's only a matter of time here. They're saying, yeah, you guys fight it out. But you better watch out.
Ooh, a big south shift, and Al-Ula are looking tasty for Nongshim. Look, they're already in those vehicles. XZY wanting to keep Overwatch on the angle as well. Maybe take some shots out that way. How fast are Nongshim going to be able to mount up? Because Flash have already regrouped to the triple stack buildings on the north side of this next part of the circle. The west edge with Furia and Orangutan also needs to conclude and try and find a way down the hill. The Deadwood is so hard to navigate, though. There are these really tricky defilades, and there are players lying in wait.
Speaking of lying in wait, yeah, you can see Nongshim Red Force. They don't want to give away their position. They don't want the lobby to know where they're at right now, so they're playing it very, very quietly. So take a look at this replay. Schweppes, popping them out the vehicle, but the crash from Aura, so strong here. And they shut down E-Arena. Huge fight for the whole lobby.
Absolutely. Arena remain on 122 as well. Doesn't mean they can't win it all next match. They are still in the Smash boundary.
Yes, they are.
So even if Nongshim get 30 points and don't win the chicken dinner, they could still take it all away with a 0 E-limit.
Aurora want to put themselves in the Smash zone here now, though.
Oh, yeah.
Here they go. They're going to start pushing, trying to find a position. They got the Wizard Tower. Are they going to take it? Nope, pass it up and decide to go for this hill line here. Good strategy. Got to be careful, though, with those shots from Flash.
Yeah, there's...
Throwing down some smoke. I like how they put one vehicle in front of the other, so they at least sacrificed one, but they should be able to hold on to at least another one here in the second.
They're going to have to pick a point to go, and I feel like sure, Team Flash can be taking shots right now, but the West side is going to have to conclude, and fairly quickly. Someone is going to look to crash Team Flash. I can guarantee you that at some point in this match.
Yeah.
But it may be a little bit longer than we were anticipating. I mean, as I said, to play around, you can sort of stutter your way forwards a little bit, but later on you're going to have to find something. Oh, spot over onto Doc. They know who they're fighting now.
Well, they will once that thirst happens.
There it is.
And there it is. So now they know 100% Nongshim Red Force is right here. Aurora are going to...
Well be worth it with all the teams around them going down fairly quickly. Just sitting here waiting for Nongshim to roll out, stepping through, sacrificing shots to Team Flash. They may look to try and just block the road, shut the door in the face of a Smash victory here in match number 2 today, match 14 on the series.
To be fair, this is going to be a very tough win for Nongshim to get. They're in a really, really tough spot here. They are on the edge of the circle. That broken wall is covering them for now, but this next zone is going to make things interesting. But here we go with a huge battle. It's Fudia versus OG. Fudia in 8th place right here. They need the win. Oh, that nade looks good. That should get a confirmation. It doesn't, some way, somehow. Bad nade there, but all of a sudden, they are able to get some knocks. Silence is going to go into the building, eating some blue zone. Fudia are getting peppered. Little by little, he gets away with just 1 HP.
Oh, WizGod steps out. He's looking for more. He's got the shotgun shells under the car. The blue zone's ticking, but it's not going to matter. WizGod strikes back against Furia, but now Horror here, and he's got a sliver of HP to play around with. They'll know he's here, and Fear rolls over the top of the hill. WizGod, what? He didn't see him. Should hear that. No! With his back to it. Will take the shots, but not find the knock. And he will be put down. In the meantime, the roller from Nongshim.
And they're off. Here they go. Nongshim Red Force on the rotation, trying to find a spot in this zone. Tires get popped. Team Flash knocked out Tizzy. It's up to the 2 players from Nongshim to end this tournament.
XZY trying to regroup now on the back. The reloads are coming through, and he may be able to sneak his way into the dip. And Aurora now have Nongshim set before them. A gauntlet to run through, and then one that they will charge in headlong. Nades first. Zul, Reefus, and Top wants this retribution. Draw this game to a close without a Smash point victory.
Aurora throwing an absolute bombardment onto Nongshim Red Force. They know they're the threat. They're going to use every single piece of utility they have to finish this team off once and for all. Not able to find those other confirmations. Vehicles are getting moved out the way, though. That's the coverage that Nongshim Red Force desperately need. Looks like they're playing a little game of ping pong with that car.
Ooh, but Aurora starting to suffer as well. They have to move forwards, and now they're in the firing line of Team Flash. It may well be enough to stop Nongshim from winning the game, though, and that seems to be what they were trying to bid for. All the while, by the way, Kamikaze is still alive, so can't discount him just yet for getting the points that he may need. It would be a very long road, though. Hyunbin and So Easy now find the final blow, struck to the heart of Aurora, who draw their game out on 113. No! They will fall to no Smash. Not here, not now.
We're gonna see a game 3, folks. Get excited, get hyped, because now's the chance for a lot of these teams to start pushing their way up the leaderboards.
How far can you go here, though? I mean, for Team Flash, this is a golden opportunity to jump up placement points, to jump up and get a little bit more cash under the belt, be a higher ranking finisher. They have all 4 of their players alive. They're looking pretty chill. As I said before, S2G do have the slimmest of opportunities. For me, it's Kamikaze needing to grab some third-party points off a fight that Team Flash has.
Yeah, he's just trying to sneak in enough points to sneak his team into that Smash zone. Any point matters, though. I really got to give some major love, though, to Aura. Look at them. 13 eliminations. This team is trying to make a comeback of a lifetime, and this is how you do it. Got to get this win, though. Anything less is not going to be enough for them to make that race to the top.
I mean, even when you do get it, it's still a long, long road for them to try and find. For Pmwc, he needs to profit 6 more points on this match. Those can come from either increasing placements or getting eliminations to join that smash point bubble. But this next circle comes in, it's not going to have him in it. It does push Flash into into a few of their locations, but it looks like they've spotted him. Pmwc is there, they roll up, he's put down, and no longer do we have that storyline. The battle at the bottom of the tables rings true for the final 4 here.
This is huge. Everyone's trying to move up their placement here. Like, again, this is a massive prize pool. Every single placement up is big money in the bank. Aura, though, this is the game of a lifetime for them. This is one of those opportunities that gets your squad excited, gets them pumped up to finally start putting everything on the line. You can see Team Flash, though, they're in the mix here. Aura trying to push from the edge of the circle. They're going to start throwing all their util onto Vitality. That's the threat. If they can hold that rock and secure that position, this could be a solid chicken dinner for them.
Absolutely. A big chance. The nades keep on going forwards. 13 eliminations on side, and they want to add 2 more to the tally. Sky and Jiggle into the fight. Razak goes down first, immediately putting him out of business, out of action. Sky looks for more as well, and they turn it on. It's just too hot.
Aura are on fire. 15 eliminations, but that nade looks dangerous. Gotta watch out. That one hurt, and now it's up to Sky. All by himself. Aula looking to stop the insanity that Aura has put on display here. Here they come. Yasser moving up close and personal to be able to secure this high ground. Team Flash on the other end, putting some suppressive fire onto them as well. Aura just trying to lick their wounds, trying to find their way, but it ain't gonna be enough. That is Aura down to 1 single player.
I like Team Flash's proactivity here. They didn't waste time. They didn't hide in the buildings. They stretched their legs and moved out towards this north side to get control of the zone. This is what we've wanted to see from a lot of our teams, and I'm glad to see it now, even if it is potentially a little bit too little too late. For them, they've got 10 eliminations here, so Aura, they're on 15, but there is a real chance that they could catch up. A Sky is still cooking an aid, and Alula are gonna have to worry. Okay, he puts it back to the shotgun shell.
He's not moving a muscle here, and I don't think Alula realizes that he's even still there. They have to know there could be a threat in this area. But Quick is just hopping in the vehicle to get a little bit of extra third-person perspective and get some sight lines. Plus, he's protected there. He has no idea. They have no idea he's there. Hello! He missed the shots, though. Sky gets the knock, but gets shot in the back as Win from Team Flash shuts down Aura's run.
Pretty mighty flub there on the shotgun, hot over the bonnet there. Probably didn't realize that Quick didn't know he was there. Thought, oh, well, I'm gonna have to go for the fight. He's gonna stand up for it, right? Right? Not to be. Ooh, a cheeky little pick onto Zeus, and actually, Bose is quite low. Over the top, though, Tops and Win look to put pressure onto Quick, and remember, Alula only really have 2 players to play around with here, Claws and Yasser. Looking to navigate closer to the middle for Yasser, but Flash can regroup on 3. Claws has a lot to face down on his lonesome here on this angle. Needs a big nade, needs to find a knock pretty immediately, and is already taken down. Win steps through with the AUG, puts that one to bed, and a second volley of fire over the top of the rock sees Team Flash to the chicken dinner.
I'll take that one, that's for sure. Over 20 points in that game. A massive one for them. I guarantee you, their coaches, everybody was telling them, right, hey, this is what you need to do if you want to make a run of it. And this is a start, right? This is a start. It's still a long road ahead, but now the road is there. You know what I'm saying? It had to happen in this game, and they got it done.
That's what you need to do. When that clock strikes, you've got to hear the call and step up to that plate. Unfortunate that Nongshim and E-Arena couldn't really get much further into that one. That Aurora hold on the eastern side it stopped them really from being able to break out in the way that they wanted to. Flash were an incredible suppressive force over the course of a lot of that final set of circles, so really, really great stuff from them. But yeah, it could have been very, very different if Aurora had played that slightly in a different fashion.
For sure. I mean, unfortunate for them, super fortunate for the rest of this lobby, as we're going to go into one more game for sure. Now, as far as teams that are still within that Smash Point threshold, I believe it's still going to be the duo, right? It's still going to be the two teams. But another opportunity in this next game, right, for more squads to be able to push their way on up. As we're going to take a look at the replay here, Team Flash, great job of being able to finish this game strong. Win especially, just boom, putting the nail in the coffin. That's how you do it.
I just didn't want to mess about, you know. He knew
this
game's
next
over.
game.
Come on. Let's go next. Keep the pace, because they do want to keep up that pressure. If you're on a run, now is the time to hold on to that momentum. There is no more runway that you need to cover to take off on this. It is just today. There is nothing that you want to leave out on Erangel and let it go to Miramar, because you may not reach it. No one might.
Just look at these players' faces. Straight intensity. These guys are locked in right now. They know exactly what they need to do in order to make this happen. And it's going to be on the back of a ton of eliminations and securing those wins, all while stopping E-Arena and Nongshim Red Force, who had a great pincer on the end of that circle there. But, you know, I think teams now especially have understood just how threatening this smash rolling is.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to do extra and beyond to make sure that they can stop those two squads.
Absolutely. I mean, there is so much pressure on so many teams. I think that, again, I'm gonna go back to my old favorite hobby, it seems, this game of giving a little bit of hate over to Ralph, because Nick the Galaxy, that 2-2 split did not work. It was really kind of catastrophic. And hey, you know what? The position that they went to, that they tried to go for on that east side, was where Team Flash won from. So could have been different. But we're gonna head down to the stage. Kalaris has a little interview for us for some inside information.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. Here with Nongshim Red Force, Hyunbin once again to get some insights on what's gone on so far. Let's talk about the Erangel that just actually happened. You guys found yourself in mini-mill to power, but then the circles shift away from you. You sent it north instead of any other direction. Talk to me about that choice. Do you think it was the right one, or do you think there was another path you could have taken?
일단 현빈 선수 첫 번째 질문은 일단 아까 에란겔 경기부터 일단 얘기를 해볼게요. 에란겔 경기 때 사실 밀타 파워 쪽의 공장을 이용하셨다가 이제 자기장이 튀자마자 이제 바로 북쪽으로 지르셨는데 사실 그쪽이 좀 다른 선택권이 없어서 좀 강제가 된 건지 아니면은 좀 그게 좀 가능성이 있다고 보신 건지 좀 궁금하네요.
일단 저희 자리에서 치킨 갖고 오기는 좀 많이 힘들었던 것 같고, 저희가 오로라 한 명을 잘라나왔고 그 골에서 오로라 일단 한 팀 먹고부터 할 생각이긴 했습니다.
Yeah, we already knew that that shift was actually really tough for us. So what we thought was Aurora was actually there, and we got a one knock of Aurora player. So I think we should have started with getting out, knocking out Aurora, and then we find our footing on the ground inside that circle.
So the Rondo game, you just won another one here. You look always great in urban endings, does Nongshim Red Force. So talk to me about that urban ending. What were your biggest concerns? You had great roof control. So what was your guys' perspective on that finish?
또 론도판에서는 또 치킨을 드셨는데 사실 시가전에서 정말 좋은 모습을 보여주시는 것 같습니다. 그래서 그 시가전에서 특히나 이제 지붕을 통한 영역 컨트롤에 굉장히 또 일가견이 있으신 것 같은데 좀 그 점에 있어서 좀 어떤 점을 좀 중점으로 플레이를 했었는지 궁금합니다. 그 론도 플레이 때 시가전 플레이 때 어떤 플레이를 중점으로 두셨는지.
일단 저희 자리가 외곽이었고 저 시가 쪽 한쪽이 비었어갖고 일단 들어가서 서클 받다 보니까 그냥 좀 잘 먹은 것 같아요.
Well, honestly, I think the inside of the city play was actually well forced because we were outside of the circle. But that being said, I think we were kind of lucky because we tried to gain the footing because of actually one of the places are actually empty. So we just find our footing there, and then we just took a control of the roof, and then we maintained good condition and intel.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining me, Hyunbin, here once again. That's Nongshim Red Force currently in position on the smash rule as we continue the games here at PMWC.
book esports World Cup up.
Like, they're losing their team so incredibly early after eliminations. You saw Kamikaze there on the north side trying to sponge those points, but again, falling short. Look how incredibly close S2G are, 116. They should have done it earlier.
just 6 points away from being able to enter the Smash Zone. Aurora Gaming as well, currently 9 points away. And teams that we're going to be looking to be able to close that gap, especially when we saw Arena get eliminated. Nongshim really not going for that many eliminations, playing it quietly. Yeah. Four Thrives. I mean, Four Thrives wasn't really able to do much. And with the win that we just saw to Team Flash now moves into 7th place.
Yeah, really good push up here. Team Flash, 7th position overall. That's going to be an extra bit of money in their back pocket. But the thing is, they're looking very scary. Look at the top 3. 3 chicken dinners, 2 chicken dinners, 3 chicken dinners, while the other teams below all have 0, like 4 Thrives, or a singular chicken dinner. So that is really making it scary that the tournament could really end Niptera at any point today.
Well, the big thing as well for me is that Aurora Gaming, Nigma Galaxy, and Arena all finished up that match with 0 points on the board, right?
Yes.
None. Nothing for game 2. S2G is moving up. As you said, Lace, you've got 4 Thrives. Well, also they got 0 points, so they don't count. But Team Flash, Ulf, all of these teams, they are really making a push forward, while those top teams, except for Nongshim, it's getting very close for the rest of those teams.
Yeah, and in this first page of the overall, there is one big outlier, especially when we're looking at the wins here, and it's none other than 4 Thrives. 4 Thrives, the only team in this first page that doesn't have a win. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because, yes, 4 Thrives, if you are able to have a good performance in the next match, at one point, we need to start seeing those win if they want to be able to win via Smash Roll.
I mean, even if we bring it back to sort of the group stages, they were sort of unable to get those chicken dinners. Of course, they could capitalize on eliminations, but they weren't really one of those teams that would close out the win. We're sort of seeing this trend now, and of course, they want to sort of get those E-limbs and sponge those points to hit that kind of Smash Roll threshold, but in then, it's still, if you calculate statistically, it's still, their win rate is not really that. Yeah, politely.
But you know what? I'm gonna pivot the conversation. I want to bring it back to Nongshim Red Force.
Yes. Let's discuss.
And what
I wanted to take a bit of time here because that was an absolutely insane throw. There are 3 options: or you third party to the western side on the mountain next to Lumberyard, or you directly crash onto Al Ula, which is what I think would have been a really good option, or you decide to go for the wide wrap onto Flash, which I wouldn't recommend, and they ended up doing. There were so many options to go, but that was like, out of the 3 Niptera, the one that was not going to give them the win.
And you know what? It's showcased by Al Ula taking 2nd place from the exact position that we were like, Nongshim, go that way, go that way. Al Ula end up going that way, get that 2nd place, and I think if it had been Nongshim with the kind of momentum that they had off the win, they would have won there. It is genuinely not even game throwing, it's almost championship throwing in game 2, right? Because they could have won it, they could have ended it, done and dusted, and they just didn't. They went for a very different play.
Yeah, and especially because of that rotation. If you push Al Ula, let's say, only Al Ula is going to fight you, right? It's literally team versus team.
Literally.
That wide eastern rotate, Aurora's looking your way, Team Flash is looking your way, Al Ula's also looking your way. You're just making it harder for yourself. And Nongshim Red Force have some of the best rotations sometimes, and then they pull stuff like that. I'm very confused. They're a very confusing team. Entertaining to watch, but confusing.
I also want to sort of point out, and this is just kind of across battle royales in general, sometimes you only have that one opportunity, and when you miss it, it is now 10 times harder to get back to that same position. You do not get these chances often. And like you said, Niptera, they didn't make that space, they didn't make that play well, so it will be a little bit more challenging now.
And with Nongshim Red Force, especially in that performance, right? I fully agree with you guys. They decided to go the completely wrong way, being within nade range of Aurora as well, even though they ended up out-surviving Aurora. One thing, though, for this team is that when we've seen it in the past, you were kind of telling me this too, Niptera, especially at PMMI. Once they hit the Smash Zone, this team is so scary because they know exactly what they're playing for, which is just the win, right? Yes, they can get some points. And we kind of saw this here being super passive, the team just waiting for the right time. And I think maybe that's what could have hurt them there. They was just looking for something passive. They weren't looking for an actual fight, and that's why they decided to go with that rotation.
You know what? I 100% agree with you there, Seven, because, yeah, they are so scary. They are so patient. And we saw that them lining up on Milta Power there, lining up on that wall, going, okay, what's the next play? They didn't look scared. They weren't going too quickly. They were just being very patient. They were sitting and going, okay, what are we going to be doing next? And then they make the most harebrained, like, under pressure play, it felt like, right? Another team I would have expected that from. Not from Nongshim, not with the presence of mind they seem to have while in the Smash Point. They are not a team that falls under pressure, and it felt like they just did in that moment, so very, very odd. Next game, though, still that chance. No one's quite caught up to that Smash Zone, so really, EA still the only competitor for them right now. Game 3, we can do this.
I'm going to pivot the topic again. Sorry, I'm
He's
all
a
over the place.
pivoter.
There's so much to talk about right now. But I want to talk about actually the MVP race, which is actually, we could have a dark situation on our hands, which is we saw Eren being top damage dealer, he had a ton of eliminations, and they're currently at the very bottom of the first page. We could have a situation where they're nowhere near winning the tournament, and a player on Ulf could actually become your PMWC 2026 MVP. Got to be careful there because he is in 4th position, but it's Hyunbin, it's Tizzy dominating here for Nongshim Red Force.
It is. And Hora, with that performance that we just saw there, Sleepy being able to put up the numbers. Aaron, you were talking about it as well. But we have a lot of fans here in the arena. We got 4 thrives. We got a bunch more over there from Godlike. Let's see what Barney's currently up to.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've said it time and time again that we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the fans. We've got so many around the arena, so before we dive into our 3rd map of the day, it is time to check in with them. And so, Furia, Godlike, make some noise! Kilaris, who have you got with you, buddy?
Yeah, that's all well and good, but I've got Nigma Galaxy. Make some noise! Thunderous applause for Nigma Galaxy! What have you got going on, Barney? Lottie, what have you got?
James, Barney, you're not ready because I'm here with 14.
You can hear the celebration in the arena. I'm sure you can hear it at home as this Hall of Heroes echoes with every fan's hopes and dreams, giving out their energy because the tournament still goes on. Not ending in a Game 2 smash, we run it right back. And anticipation has reached fever pitch here in France. Everyone's loving it.
Having a great time here in the arena. The Nigma Galaxy fans getting ready. I mean, they have played very well today, Lord, making a great showing on that first match, but goodness me, what an event, what atmosphere we've got here in our arena. Lovely to see all the support coming out for our players, for our teams here. Potentially the last match. Ooh, maybe. Felt like it on that last one. Weren't quite able to get it there for Nongshim Red Force. They kind of make a bit of a Hail Mary. Didn't work out. But we do have our 3rd match coming up. Erangel. Nice and steady map here to get yourself a chicken dinner on. Nongshim might be waiting for later on in the day, though. Hitting another big Miramar, but will someone beat them to the punch? Will E-Arena start stepping back up again?
A lot of fine margins and a room that's getting rowdier and rowdier each game that goes by. But we'll focus on the here and now, the present that is the fact. We've been presented with a 3rd game here live from EWC. PMWC has not stopped delivering, and I don't doubt this game will be anything different. We're back on Erangel, playing path established.
Last match, a little bit difficult, honestly. I don't blame a lot of our teams for struggling slightly there. Very, very southern playing path to start things off. Awkward drop spots, awkward rotates, quick switch out towards the eastern side. Not an easy game to confirm a chicken dinner on. This time around, really, really gentle playing path. Straight across the center. No one's complaining. Everyone's had a lovely in-flight meal, and we are ready to get going again. Things spread across the entirety of the map. So a lot of room to rotate, Jackie, but where's the circle?
Well, if history is anything to go by with some of the circles we've had here this event, it might be something a little bit spicy for this one.
Might be, might just be. Fair bit of Sosnovka pulled into play here down towards the south side. We got plenty of water in play. Teams have to start getting their feet wet into this one to make it happen. Those bridge crossings, absolutely diabolical. Aurora Also, tough decisions. S2G, bit of a menace team to run into on that eastern side, but Four Thrives have been consistently oppressive over towards the west. So hard decisions need to be made for this squad. They're getting vehicles, likely will loot down towards the south side of the map. They'd be praying for a southwest shift on this one. Over towards farm, Nongshim Red Force will get moving. Planting those seeds of destiny. Hopefully get themselves another chicken dinner today. E-Arena far out over towards the northwest side, South George. Long distance on this one.
And of course, for those of you at home that don't want to forget the event, make sure you get stuck in with that Naruto in-game event that's been going on. Pick up that awesome Ninetales Fury org and try and make plays like some of the best we've seen over the tournament.
One of the best right here on our screens in Mormon. For E-Arena, he has been the man. Seriously good stuff from him. So many clutch plays, so many moments where it felt dire and Mormon was able to pull it back for the squad. Looking to do the same here in the final day. They've already achieved the smash ruling. As we said earlier on the desk, the only two teams to currently do it, but I do think that that will change after match 3 if we don't end it all here and now. Right now you have that serene sense for E-Arena as well as Nongshim Red Force that there is only one other squad in the lobby that could beat you to the punch.
I do think, mate, with how S2G have looked, if you could come alive here, get a bit of a big boost off this game, they've still got a chance to be a dark horse, to be able to upset in this lobby. And I think we saw some of that talent yesterday when they were fighting under so much pressure as well. In disadvantaged situations from distance, MZG, he was popping off. There's a lot they can do, bro. You know, we touched on Kamikaze an awful lot over the event, but I think it's that duo that brings so much firepower. So we'll see what they got this time.
Hamzy as well as Kamikaze looking great. And for S2G, they're a team that's put up quite a lot of chicken dinners so far, actually. I think they're currently on 3. Looking to break that record, though I think it will be difficult today to do that, since get up towards 5, and by the time they get to 5, they should have also just won at that point. That's a smash. So possibilities of broken records ruined by the format for them. But I do think they would be happy with the win, regardless.
Yeah, I don't think it'll bother them too much, right?
Yeah, so for S2G, certainly a possibility here. Only 6 points on this game that's needed for them. For Aurora, we are looking towards 9. Enigma Galaxy is going to have to be a bigger match. 22 points on that one, which is almost certainly going to be a chicken dinner. But yeah, a lot of teams looking to breach that smash ruling as we come into match 3, which is where it always gets stressful. Hot Jukes, a little documentary style, earlier on today was saying that he'd love to see 6 teams towards that final match, all vying it out for the chicken dinner. Has felt like a lot of times internationals do go to that 6th match no matter what. And even in PMMI, ooh, for Nongshim Red Force, oh my god, he's alive. For Nongshim Red Force, he did go to match 6 when they got that smash. Satan immediately peeling off there for Enigma Galaxy, but they are in close contention with Four Thrives, who are exiting from Ferry Pier and Yellows.
Four Thrives, they've been loving these fights versus Enigma the entire event. Always able to catch them on their egress. I was just as surprised as you were. He actually got out from that one. But Lord, not lucky enough to bypass Ida. That back and forth conversation between those two teams continues even this far into the event. Emre running down Lord to get that confirmation off.
Yeah, now that idea of getting the chicken dinner and getting into smash ruling feels a little further away. Four Thrives will aggress over towards Ida. Should hit them up towards the 100 now, so they've also hit the century on this game. getting ever closer to that count. Nongshim Red Force was able to make a fairly good rotation towards the central position. They like to play around this area. They are cut in with S2G though. Slightly scary spot to be working with. Very central. Still only here in zone 1. Anything can happen as long as they're set up. Position to move from should be okay. Ulf finds S-Power. There is a clap back from Admino, who immediately will flush out Scarface. So full-on engagement here between Ulf as well as Godlike.
Already big shots being connected, and it's wiped up so quickly. Ulf withstand the pressure. They do lose one player, but they can get Eren back up, and that's a key piece of the puzzle for them. Keep him in play, reset with the meds, and grab the extra loot.
I mean, for Eren, what a run it's been for him during this tournament. Max was highlighting him on the desk of how much he was able to really prove himself here at this event, despite having some awkward moments, honestly. Still remember his crash into gas station, which went terribly wrong, but even then he is putting up numbers. OG do take a knock there to Tiamba, who have been sadly very quiet after day 1. A majority of the points earned there, if they were able to replicate anything like that day 1 and day 2 or day 3, they would have won this tournament by a mile. Sadly, that's just not the case. Trying to get back into the mix of it now, though, as Milu starts to look for these nades.
Maru on about half HP there. AKOP in the back line. Ooh, nice arc from Milu. Milu, the madman, when he's feeling himself, he can do so much damage on a battleground. He's got back up from the boys. If they can get out of this one cleanly, maybe they can at least try and ruin some of the runs for the other squads above them. And Milu keeps it going to get that flush as well, so that will remove Aru. Hard cut him out. Blue coming in to make it a bit more suffocating between these two sides.
Quite a few nades already expended here from Tiamba as well as OG. Be right in zone 2 now. Blue starts to tickle a fair bit. QZZ gets a bit panicked there. Will drop a couple of shots through and then immediately ascend in. Milu, he's just going to prime the nade. That's a nice one from him. Good patience. Lets it go through. Is he going to peek this onto AKOP? It's me. Does not care in the slightest. Friendly fire. Denies the point.
Ooh, yeah. And they're going to bounce around, make sure they clean up on that one. Trying to snatch away some of the earnings from it. Good to see Tiamba, though, getting a bit of fanfare back from the crowd and big plays from Milu. I think he was sat on about 11 elims off the back of 3 games back on day 1 as well, mate.
He's a killer, that's for sure. Tiamba lucky to have him. Great to see him back on the team again. Some subs came through yesterday, Shallow in, Milu out, but looks like he is ready to play today. Gameplay looks clean. For Nongshim Red Force, hard rotate over towards that north side. We've got Dip in play, but not fully. At least we did confirm away from the south side. A lot of the water got cut out immediately. A hard shift over towards the northwest, and an easy rotate now for Tiamba to actually get in.
There's Catch popping up in the elim feed. Couple shots over towards the Furia squad. Furia that have been a little bit more shaky today in some of the battles we've seen. Hasn't been as cutthroat. We'll see if that one results in a bit of a flush. Seems like they have grabbed Igor's back up for now, so he'll live on. Nongshim just ahead of the Aurora crew that have made their rotation over the bridge, left of Novka. Oh, are they going in for this aggro?
Aurora might be looking just to swing on the coastal side, deny as much sidelines as possible. Top, though, playing an anchor backstop here, taking some good shots. There is another play here alongside him with Doc. Hamzi G at distance, also watching, so this is a dangerous rotate here for Aurora, because even if they get down towards the beachhead, S2G might have a sightline with Hamzi, and we know just how good Hamzi is at distance. An eagle eye on him. Nades go through, but so easy, brushes them off.
Dirt off the shoulder for so easy. Can't keep this man down right now. 3 of their nades invested, so draining some of the early offensive utility, but it looks like they've still got a good supply, at least on dock, with 5 in the backpack. Meanwhile, the arena pushing back up over to Waldorf. Ketch trying to catch an escape plan. Dives behind the driving, but it's not quick enough as Joker will adjust his crosshair and find that one on the exit. Mormon takes a knock back over.
Bit of a disjointed Irish exit there from Ulf. Alula under pressure though, as S2G just flies in over towards the garages. R3B in the corner, and S2G cleans it up. Not a single player lost. Should be able to get that res. Nongshim Red Force in the meantime, after seeing those players leaving, did get that leapfrog on, so they get a little bit further into the circle here. Milta, not the main feature. If we go down towards the southeast, we know just how good Nongshim can be in an urban finish, thriving in the concrete jungles.
So no overcommit. Like you touched on, Aurora just controlling some of the rotation paths with the coast firmly under their foot. Map geometry favoring them from this position. They opt to go for the 2-2 split. Rufus and top further over near the area we see Vitality starting to encroach upon. Whilst Joel and Doc, 2 players with very heavy hands if you do want to challenge them in a raw duel, play off each other.
It's actually a possibility right now with S2G leaving. I don't know if Aurora is able to spot that. They certainly don't see Hamzy G continuing to peak the angle, but now they have free capability to actually make an eastern ramp if they want. Right now they're holding 2 fairly decent locations in terms of vision onto the map, but they are right on the edge, so eventually they'll have to move. I think likely what's going to happen is they'll wait for Zone 4, make a decision from there how they want to rotate in. But there's a lot of free space over towards the eastern side, and already Doc is going to scout it. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Get a little bit further up, realize that actually this space is kind of open at the moment for us to get a little bit more of an eye in towards the circle.
That's the kind of premium real estate that man like Doc's going to instantly sniff out. He'll be confident enough to rep himself to take control of. We'll see how this pans out long term for Aurora.
Next circle though. We're going to define a lot of how this works, and we are down towards Milta. Nongshim might be thinking about making a move right now, and they're instantaneous. This is way better than last game. Last game felt late on those rotates. It felt like they were still making decisions. This time they are much quicker with it. Out to the outside edge, not confirmed towards Milta yet. Still giving them the capability to move out towards the field should this move towards the west. But now they're going to have a swivel on towards all the teams around them. Aurora recalling Rufus back towards the squad as teams start to surge towards Milta.
Timing on this is going to be so dangerously tight, though. They all caught vision on one another. Ida have already entered close. 3-man split. Solo's playing in a line there for Aurora with the wrap in late. Rufus, seeing the backline of Vitality, knows he's got to go down towards the coast and then assist the team. Tiamba getting shots off as well. That's Ulf. Oh, you're going to be eating shrapnel on this one. Wide arc down towards the roadside.
Solus and Aaron here by the toll gates. It's always an awkward spot, very nadeable. Couple of positions you could play around inside the toll booth itself to try and dodge those close quarters ordnance. Oh my god, there's mollies everywhere. Aaron can barely move. He has to find an opening with this nade, but for Ulf it's looking like it's more and more over. XZY goes down to a nade from Rufus. Doesn't push it though. Should be resable.
That's 2 players knocked as well. We saw Vitality get in the first domino falling onto Nongshim, then the assist coming in from Aurora. The Nongshim Smash squad might have come on stock early.
Oof, it's far, it's far. It's so hard. He kind of needs to get over the top and try and pick him up, but with the vehicle's currently slammed, it's really difficult to do. Just about holds the res. He was so low. Tizzy perched himself on the rubble of the wall. Oh, that was close, Jackie.
I think we just saw Federales get a single tap onto Hyunbin as well. He was looking for the drop with the smoke, wanted to try get down there and assist, took a single bullet, had to hit the deck again. Thankfully, smoke's out, limited cover as well with the walls, so the geometry playing in their favor. You can go for another res. They might be able to recover it cleanly.
I think that they won't be recovering though. It's all this utility that they just spent hitting those players back up again. How many smoke launchers do they still have left? Vexy finds Tizzy again. Nongshim under mad pressure at the moment between two separate squads, both looking towards them. Just have to hold on for the time being. Stop peeking, honestly, but I feel like they realize they need to keep these teams on the outside at bay. Arena, though, down in the blink of an eye versus Tiamba. Another team on Smash ruling out, and Tiamba survives as for just. Eagle inside. As always, the lurker looking to play medic for the rest of the squad here.
He might be the Eagle, but there is vultures swarming the skies around him. Other teams realizing there's been a lot of damage done here. It's a risky pickup with the position he's in. Luckily, he's got some cover from the vehicles to try and save his mates. That's Aura, though, with Jiggle getting one of them confirmed off the back of the damage that was done. So they do go down to at best a 3-man squad post this pickup.
A lot of teams need to move. A lot of teams that actually fully confirmed though towards Milter now feeling a little bad about this one, which is exactly why you see Aurora playing on this edge down towards the south side and Nongshim not fully moving in. So 4 Thrives, they've got to extricate themselves. Flash have also got to pull themselves out of this one. S2G a little bit safer where they play around the warehouses and they can move up over towards that top side, be playing over towards Toll Booth later. But it's Aura right now who actually own the majority of the space on the northern edge. 4 Thrives opening up over towards Aurora as they move.
That backline in is good to at least take some of the heat off. Force attention turned back onto 4 Thrives from Aurora. Vitality have just been really running interference from this angle as well. If there's a peek up from Hyunbin, they're harassing with shots. If they can get LOS back over onto the coast of Aurora, it's punishing as well.
For Nongshim Red Force, they know the shots came from Vitality earlier, so this is sort of the team they need to deal with first. The one thing I really worry about for Nongshim, though, is how exposed the vehicles have been this entire time. You got to imagine that wheels are blown out, if not vehicles fully exploded. They do have to move further in towards the circle, likely will be on foot, unless they can find some kind of vehicle in the near future. Vitality's going to go for a mad rotate over towards the northwest side. They hear the fighting, they notice that Nick Galaxy's down. This is a good opportunity to go for. Vexy helping from the back lines. Really like this push from Vitality.
Ralph's on an island. Last man left alive and not breathing for much longer as Razak will find that adjustment back onto Nigma, so they go down. Vexy's been good as well at providing some overwatch for this squad. Showing up when they needed him. Fury are on the move close by, shots from either side, so a lot of information garnered towards them. They advance further. Silence and Co pushing up with the vehicles, going to peek over the top of the rocks. There's Tiamba in the distance, nades being thrown onto Vitality, a backline potential. Igor goes in, big sprays, assisted by Silence. 4 Thrives taking some damage as well, the pepper back onto them.
Fury's going to move in on this, like you say. Igor's already on that front line. The rest of the team all stood alongside him now. And Vitality find themselves in a very horrendous position. Nades from Tiamba going a little bit wide here, trying to angle these through the smoke. That one should be on target. Easy cleanup. Tiamba grab themselves 10, 11 eliminations on this match so far. Much more reminiscent of the past, and Milu's already on 4.
Furia playing with that confidence and aggression we know they've got as 4 Thrives buckle under the pressure. Furia shutting them down in the close range combat. And Nongshim, after turtling for so long, finally knowing Vitality had been taken out of the picture, they can make a move. They're just wrapping around to where Aurora were.
This is interesting, trying to get rid of Aurora, actually. Only one player here in Reefers, potentially they've noticed that. There's actually a massive amount of space on this western side that they could clear. Tiamba's a 3-man, Furia's down to 2. Circle moves up that way, leaving Tiamba with one of the few remaining positions, and we are on Toll Booth. Oh my god, what a circle to end on.
Ooh, deep nades. Reefus casting that one out. Back nades as he advances to try and create a little bit of space between the teams. Distant shots coming in from Tiamba. He's got to hit the deck, but that's not the only squad you got to worry about. Lost from S2G gets a sight line, and goodbye Reefus.
The only thing is just like kind of flashbacks to last game where there is a massive capability of moving west on this one for Nongshim and clearing up towards that north side, having all that space. You'd imagine that they saw the amount of teams that moved into Milta. They are just charging headlong into danger here, where there is so much more room to play on the northwest side. Guys, you don't need elims. You need a chicken.
And they might get barbecued if they take too much time on this one. Joel was cooking a molly. XCY so paranoid about the peak from the top side with Tiamba. And with Furia not needing to force the issue amongst them, they've got a crystal clear line of sight down onto the rotate path for Nongshim. It's so uncomfortable.
Come back, lads. Just come back off this angle. We don't need to play it anymore. You can wrap back over towards. So easy. 2 down. What is this? It makes little sense. I mean, they'd set themselves up wonderfully the entire time for this western exit. And as soon as the circle moves away from Milta, what do? Push into Milta?
The panic's there. Paralysis by analysis. The zone takes away one of the members, and we're down to just the duo. Aurora Core on their exit as Lost will be able to continue playing powerfully off this angle. XZY thankfully given a few moments of respite as he runs to try and find any cover at all.
Kamikaze from S2G, we talked from the start of the game. They have just about hit that 122 now. So they have hit that smash ruling going towards that next match. Another team steps up to the plate. They've done enough here, even if they go down. Looking to take down Ida regardless. Hams, ooh, what a shot! Reactions coming through clutch there, but Kamikaze, as always, the backbone in the team.
Standing straight and keeping S2G in a position to recover from this. Quick reactions from Ida, but a shutdown play that will let S2G fight on for another day. Flash, though, getting eaten alive by Hora. Wrapping down the ridge, the nades bouncing in. Tops is down. And Kamikaze scanning to see what more points they can steal.
Hora on for a big game here, actually, Jackie. Looking to push themselves further in the rankings. Only 2 eliminations so far, but so much more to grab here as most teams are bruised and bleeding coming into these final zones. Tiamba also having a good time of it. Nades going over the top here from Nongshim Red Force, rolling down, and we are directly on top of Toll Booth now.
That's okay falling. XZY getting the tags off. They've been under constant pressure the entire time. It's not clean. It's awkward.
Not even a helmet on so easy here anymore.
Mate, you're playing with a bare minimum. Concessions had to be made, but a nade could be coming their way. Lost with 2 left in the back pocket. The first one thrown in looks good for the bounce. Oh, see ya!
Double bouncer. XZY is down. Comes to the end of his line there. Nongshim is floundering at the moment. Confusing moves. Win though from the back lines, will get the backstab, but immediately spotted out by Lost here. S2G absolutely have done enough, but they're looking to push further into this game, as is so easy.
They're trying to send a message with this one. It's not just about what they needed to get into Smash. They want to prove that they can be the big dogs in the lobby. Response back over them. Hamza G eating the nade from Hora as Hora are lighting up the sky. Explosion after explosion on top of the Turkish team. They are stuck on the ridge and cannot advance. Backline attack from Tiamba from way over the other side. And Tiamba keeping the pressure on. Trying to get that pick up in. Lost with limited space to play off. In comes the nade. Oh! Sky makes it work and S2G go down.
S2G blown sky high behind the tree there. Let me introduce you to the biggest dog in the lobby. Hora on the northeast side. So easy. With barely a hope in this match, but still hanging on. Furia dashed by the roadside, leaving just Hora, Tiamba, Nongshim Red Force in this endgame. For Nongshim, the best thing about this is that even if there isn't a smash win, this is keeping them contention for the top spot, at least.
It's going to be big for the placements. And is there a chance of some sheer shenanigans from So Easy? He's crossing his fingers, mate. But you've got a hard task ahead of you.
This guy's has to have him here. Just the peeks over a little bit. So Easy's trying to hide his face behind the barest of pylons, behind this railing. It is just not how Come on, he has to do something. Oh, they've smoked it.
Hang on a minute.
Cheers, lads. I really needed that.
He's tucked in behind it. There's no real angle from the backside as well from Tiamba, so it just depends. I mean, if Hora go for the hard force over...
This is mad.
Yeah, this could get cheeky quite quickly. Sleepy would have burned down as well. The vehicle... Oh, it's all going wrong! So Easy on a peacock, good for one, and Tiamba assisting with the shots from the top. He's going to go first on these as well.
Hora on the assist with an unreal smoke. Mollies go in, nades go wide, and he is out. Tiamba will clean up.
Nongshim were looking to blot out the sun on that one with a surprise plays, but it's not going to happen now. And Hora solo remains with the advancement of Tian, but the nade goes over. Sky got a backpedal. Runs back to whatever cover he can find. Can he trust in his source on this one? Holding the peak, ready for the shots. Eagle gets knocked out of the Sky. QZZ with a reposition as Sky advances forward with a shotgun in his hand. Nade being cooked by Milu, and this man don't miss.
Good damage. QZZ falls over the second, and Tiamba is back. What a fantastic game. The three-man inside just felt like these guys needed a little bit of confidence. And that star on the match reinvigorates whatever light died out in Milu on day two. It is back on now, and it is blaring.
They started that game as they meant to proceed. The aggression was there. The despicable nade plays from Milu that always give you that gut-wrenching feeling of how does he do it. Continued from start to finish. The shots are on point. And a pathway begins to present itself.
Hora's got to be mad at themselves, though. Imagine just smoking off So Easy.
The smoke into the tire pot on the career down the hill. Oh, but
they really did careen off course there. Looked so good up until that point. Covering their angles, clearing their spots out. So Easy. He was mega confused. I would have loved to see his face in that moment. Pure shock. He's like, is that the nade moved away from me? He's like, wait, actually.
That's the smoke. I can blast that.
Nice. That's great. I didn't have one of those before, you know?
No utility left, but they gave him what to be nice, and then Tiamba with the perfect timed nades.
Man, so good. There was a small part of me that thought that So Easy was going to clutch up. Small part of me, but I am glad it was Tiamba.
Oh yeah, tiny percentage, but it started to get a little bit bigger with how things were going. But hey, a Tiamba win is a very exciting prospect. Such a fun team to watch, Blank, bringing the heat in finals.
They're just a fast-paced team, and I think what we've seen them from before is just a little bit of that sluggish gameplay where they weren't quite able to make those plays, and they've been desperately banging on that door, but it's just been not going down. And I think Milu right there just put a foot
A southern shift happens. S2G have the high ground.
Now, this is really important. Sure, S2G have that high ground. This is really good for them, but Nongshim's decisions in the next minute or two are going to be pretty make or break. The teams on the northeast side will have to figure out who's going to take a crack at it. I feel like Nongshim can kind of stay here for a little bit longer, but they have to be able to hold out as the crossing on the bridge starts to unfold. We've got 4 teams behind the queue, and actually E-Arena are sweeping in to try and play in behind this. They think, oh, surely the eastern bridge is going to be empty. Think again.
Nope, there are a whole bunch of teams holding on this eastern bridge. Looks like a bunch of squads, and IGL's had the same idea. And this is stage 4. The blue zone is really going to start chunking them here. They cannot afford to be holding here for so long. And for Team Flash, this is their chance to disrupt E-Arena.
A real big chance. E-Arena have stumbled at every block since that first match that saw them into the Smash Zone. And they are being denied access. So many players sit in front of them. You've even got Eagle behind in Milta for Tianba to try and make that one happen. So a really, really desperate scenario now for E-Arena, whilst the 2 teams that sit with them in the Smash Zone are laughing, and there goes Schweppes.
There goes Schweppes.
Unresable now, stage 4.
And now WizGod is going to be looking to get that thirst, soak up them points. They know it's E-Arena here. Oh, the pan shot.
Okay.
Woo! He said, okay, let me go ahead and get back to this side. Mormon desperate at this point. Just going to be full sending it across this bridge to try and survive. The blue zone chunking them down. And the crowd, you can hear them chanting. I can hear the S2G chants already. They know this looks really good, but can they finish it out?
Oh, this east side concluding, and we didn't really catch it on camera, but Furia went up towards Enigma Galaxy to take that fight on the northern side. They were able to take a player down and not lose any themselves, but again, that leaves no challengers from the east towards that Nongshim high ground position in those sandbag spots. Everybody from the east side is going to be coming into this zone raggedy, run through, as E-Arena do manage to get across the bridge, but at the cost of Schweppes.
Yeah, at the cost of Schweppes and a whole bunch of utility as well. They're going to be going through almost all their meds here just to try and survive. And then they're going to have to get lucky into this circle. They're going to have to hope to catch a third party, something. If they do get that third party, though, and win that fight, this could be dangerous. Let's see how this works out, though, as now we're going to look at Furia getting mighty close to Team Flash. That nade just a little bit too far from Bose.
Well, still going. He's taking shots over on the northwest side, over at Godlike. Don't think he's going to manage to push through with complete ease, but it's a good start. As the blue zone at his back, Bose for Team Flash. Remember, they were the team that was holding out that east bridge. They alleviated that pressure, and now they might try and turn their attention to our tabletoppers, Nongshim Red Force, in their bunker spot. It is really dicey for everybody on this east side. They have to push past such a difficult, impregnable position.
Hey, they found a spot though, right? E-Arena was able to find a little bit of space here and possibly some eliminations as WizGod is trying to drive by. He thought this was open. No, it's not. WizGod almost on fire, somehow still alive. And now getting taken out by Alula.
All right, okay. Well, that was a crazy dash out of the open through the melee position. A team that we haven't talked about in a while is Aurora, who sit as a blocker to Alula. And remember, they are a team chasing towards that Smash Zone. And they find a spot on towards Mormon as well, and knock over to E-Arena, and they are now down another player. Vitality pick up that flush. So Aurora denied the point, which could be pretty crucial if they do not make it into the Smash Zone here. But with Aurora in the buildings on the south side of this zone, as it pushes, by the way, away from Nongshim.
Yeah.
That could be devastating for Aurora if they don't make it all the way.
Aurora looking dangerous, though. They're actually going to be fighting out with E-Arena. That's a big one, a big fight about to take off as they're waiting for this next circle. This is still stage 5, but military zones are just so dangerous. Aurora are going to have this beautiful compound for now, so they don't have to move. Right now, they're just keeping eyes on Alula, trying to get a few more eliminations. They know they're that close. Only 5 points away now from that Smash Zone.
Goodness me, I feel like the most important decision here is Nongshim's rotate. The question is when. What do you need to have in place before you go for it? And I feel like this is one of them. Clearing out the back, Team Flash, as soon as they roll out, they're going to get hounded down. So the ability to clear that out is brilliant. But then where do you go from there? Maybe you try and crash towards the arena, but we'll see what they can find in the fight with Flash as they roll up for a second rundown. So easy goes low, but he's still got a little bit more bite behind him. Woo! And he snaps back. Flash do go down, and no knock sent, but here come Pmwc. They're straight into the fight. A 1-2 go down. There they go. What on earth was that? Pmwc with the targeted, surgical, precision strike. Take down the table toppers. Nongshim denied.
Out of here. Pmwc heard that fight. They knew who was on top of the hill, and they say, you know what? We want a piece of that, baby. And they got the whole thing. Nongshim Red Force are out. S2G, E-Arena still alive. As Pmwc in just one fail swoop could have saved this tournament, and we could see another match.
My goodness me, but S2G with that opportunity now on the southwest side of the circle. Have to get a little bit closer to it. They've still got the madman Falak to deal with, though, in the foothills of their position. And Lost is rolling up to it. There's a nade cooking, so have to be careful. Feel like they should know there's someone in the shack. They should know. As the nades are flying, Godlike are launching forwards. Pmwc will certainly know about it now. Godlike wants to challenge on this hillside, the southwest side, getting hotter and hotter. Oh, okay, it's the Lone Ranger. On horseback, charging into battle.
Falak on the move. 1 horsepower, man. He's on the move. Can he survive? He hops. Jumps out for a little bit longer and survives.
Hey, he's got that big iron on his hip. He's ready for the fight. Godlike try and take it down. You're going to have to do better than that. One more under the belt for Falak, but he goes down to a long-range third party, and the circle goes south too. Over to S2G. For Turkey, they have the shot. They have the inside track. It is about conversion now.
And the whole lobby needs to understand who is the greatest threat in this lobby. It's S2G. They're alive. They have the high ground. They have the ammunition. They could end this tournament right here, right now. A lot of fights happening on the other side of things, though, and that's going to be chaotic on the side that S2G are starting to spread their wings. They're taking so much real estate in this circle, looking to get the chicken.
They could make it up to first place overall, and down go E-Arena, so now guaranteed the only team to make it across, to be in with a chance, with a smash victory on this game, on this final Erangel, is S2G. But Aurora could change that tune. They are 2 points away from the smash zone. One more team goes down, they are in, and on the north side, it makes it happen. Aurora will join the top 3 in the smash zone if we go to another match.
Oh, and you could see Zol. He knows it. He knows exactly where this S2G squad is. He spotted him. Did he spot Hansuji, though, in the grass, waiting to make a play? Zol getting mighty close here. Oh, Hansuji does stand up. The fight waiting to happen. This could be the fight to decide this tournament. Well, whichever team owns this one, they're going to control this entire side of the map.
There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The only way for Aurora to keep this one going, for a chance at their own victory, their own table-topping performance, is to take down S2G, who sit atop the mountain, presiding over the military finish. Nongshim Red Force swept aside with a targeted strike from Pmwc. E-Arena struggling, clawing their way towards the circle, finally fell apart at the seams and could not go the distance, but S2G have their chance.
They've got it. You can see Kamikaze spreading out, rocking a 3-1 split on the side of S2G. Team Vitality, another squad that could be dangerous. They're focusing on the wrong team, though. They're looking towards Aurora. All of their efforts need to be going towards S2G. If Vitality fight Aurora, that's a perfect opportunity for S2G to third-party this and take this tournament.
But I mean, where do Vitality go? Where do they go to try and make the most of this match, right? It is towards Aurora. You can't sweep west. Furia still have some snakes in the grass, and Kamikaze's reinforcing that position. I feel like Vitality might just be giving this one over to S2G.
You got to realize, Vitality, it's either go anywhere else or go home right now. If they battle this out, it's going to give S2G a massive advantage here in this game, as these are the two squads with a full team still alive in this tournament.
We need to put the aura in Aurora right now. They need to look big, play big, score big, get into the smash zone, because they are the only team really in the driving seat. The circle takes the backstop position out for S2G. Vitality are just gonna have to cross, but S2G might take shots at them as well. On this approach, up to the ridgeline, the fight is teetering. We are on a knife's edge.
Here we go. We can hear the crowd chanting S2G because they know they have the high ground. They do lose that building, though, so that backstop there by Soul-K. He's going to have to jump on down and look at this position. This is all about fight timing. If Aurora and Vitality battle each other out, S2G should have this one in the bag. And top is looking in Vitality's direction.
Okay. Okay. We'll see if this suppressive force can go. I mean, Vitality's approach is not easy, even if S2G aren't peeking all the way down. There is still angles that they can take over towards Vitality. And they may actually opt to stay on the top of this ridge.
You could feel the tension in the air. You can cut it with a knife. This could be the end of the tournament. We're watching the last game if S2G take this one. Furia. Don't count them out either. They have 2 players up, but they could definitely disrupt this entire fight.
Down the line.
Here we go. One more zone shift. One more zone shift to decide who's going to have the advantage. And if S2G are going to be able to take it. Chief driving up. He gets knocked out. Now it's only Ayala left for Furia.
There was also a knockover towards a Vitality player coming through from Aurora, who are pushing up to the ridge, but leaving top out to deal with Vitality's position. It's so suppressed. Oh, the links coming into play. And there's a knockover towards top. S2G find the backline. That's not going to be resable. 3 players now for Aurora, with their chance to take it all away. But S2G, with only 2 limbs, they don't need any more than that. All they need is the win. And with 3 teams beneath them. Oh, look how important Aurora think this res is. Top desperately calling for assistance. It's needed. And Kamikaze rolls out to try and suppress it, but no, lost back behind the tree.
Seoul with the critical shots and the off angle from Doc is able to knock a player from S2G. And here comes Aurora.
They're rolling in.
Move. They got the shot. It's all Doc, baby. Shutting them down.
Kamikaze now, the last player for S2G. It's still doable. It can still be done, but it would need a miracle. Reefus turns his attention towards the backline, so Vitality still sits living. 4 players alive, all rest up. They might be the ones to take it all.
It's Kamikaze versus the world. If he somehow takes this, it's game over. Ayala by himself. Reefus dominating this lobby, and Vitality's in trouble.
A Kamikaze in the center of the circle with the assistance from Ayala could suppress that position from Aurora. If they get Seoul back up, that does change the tune. And Kamikaze has the broadside. Reefus goes low but stays alive. And down go S2G. Aurora keep it going. We are going to Miramar.
We are going to the desert, and we only knew that in the last second. That one was way too close for comfort. At S2G, you can see the look on their faces, the devastation. It could have been over right then, right there.
They had that game in the palm of their hand, and through their fingers, the dust of their defeat pours down. And they are going to feel so bad about that one. Oh,
they had the high ground.
That high ground. Aurora with the charge through. It felt like the knocks were there. Everything was lining up. But they built that house on foundations of sand. And they have to go again. And this time, there's a 4th player in the ring.
Oh my goodness. It's games like that that are matches of nightmares. those are the ones that stick with you, that you remember, that you wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night just thinking, oh, if I would have just looked in this direction, made this one little move, we could have won it right then and there. But this tournament's not over. We still have 2 more matches left to go. But like you mentioned, Aurora are looking to roar up to the top as they take this one at the last second.
I mean, what?
the upset on, and they just knew from that moment they messed up, Max.
Oh, the Doc and Reefus wombo combo. Like, that is what you want to see as an Aurora fan. That is such a good execution. And really, the push from SGG, I would say, was not even a bad idea. But the thing is, they had so many angles on the side of Aurora. No tree, no rock was going to be enough cover to keep you alive in the very end. Kamikaze, of course, trying to keep the dream alive, but Aurora were just way stronger at the end. And Aurora now making the jump up, man. A four-man race. We don't see it very often on the global stage, but any of those four teams could still now be crowned your champions.
They can be crowned their champions, and we do have 2 games left. If it doesn't finish here in a Smash, with the Smash format in this next match, which means that some other teams could still end up pushing out. We got a chance to see earlier that Smash race graphic. You can see Four Thrives is still, even though Four Thrives hasn't really been performing that well, awful day after that Rondo, they could still find themselves a way up towards that Smash zone. But when it comes to Aurora, when it comes to that fight with SGG, I kind of want to rewind a little bit to that, because I was thinking maybe SGG took a little bit too long to try to get even more angles and spread out even more.
I'm not sure. I thought that S2G played it well enough. I thought that they had enough angles, that they were timing it very well. The problem was Lost getting knocked. For Aurora, that is like smelling blood in the water, and it just activates immediately. Like, once they get that knock, Aurora are all over it. Full push, full send, complete synergy. They like, right, we have a target, we know what we're doing now. So for me, I think it's less S2G and more Aurora.
Yeah, they were in great positions. I absolutely agree to you. And Aurora were moving to the rotation on Vitality. If they were just to wait another moment, it would have opened up an even better position for them. But obviously, you know, like Max says, they were sort of making that push. It wasn't the worst decision, it was the timing decision that put them out.
With that overall now, we see the Aurora jumping up to that second place in tying Nonchalant Red Force at 140 points apiece. Nonchalant Red Force does have 3 chicken dinners, Aurora with 2 here. And as we're looking at this overall ranking, even before this one, we got a chance to see the top teams for Miramar, Max.
Yes.
And we ended up seeing Nonchalant there, and as well as E-Arena. This could be the turnaround for E-Arena.
I mean, especially, wait, Neptura, remind me, PMI, Macau Invitational, which map was it the Nonchalant Red Force won on and got the smash?
Was that game 6?
It was game 6, and it was what battleground it was?
I think it's a Miramar.
I think it was a Miramar. Exactly. Thank you very much for confirming my suspicions, Neptura, because it is Miramar. It's Nonchalant Red Force o'clock. But I do want to say, Four Thrives, Nigma Galaxy, Furia, Tiamba, if we do get to that hypothetical scenario where none of the top 4 teams get chicken dinner, these guys, the top 3 is not going to cut it. You need a win if you want to do it. And you know what? That means from those teams on the second half of this first page, you need back-to-back chicken dinner to be the champions.
And we're starting to see the crowd pop up as well, especially towards the end when S2G, one of those players, ended up getting knocked. You can see all the fans from Horror, all the fans from Four Thrives just getting so excited, because that just means one more chance for those squads. Four Thrives, you are 17 points away. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it, Lace, but they're going to have to try.
I'm a believer. There's still time, absolutely, for them and to be able to capitalize on that. And what we've seen, and obviously a lot of these zone pulls on Miramar, they could have that potential to be able to do it. Obviously, you know, we saw it from the, the hashtag EWC post. They just need that chicken dinner, which will maximize those points for them, and obviously to close it out in the following game.
I'm just looking at a bunch of squads here as well that you have absolutely nothing to lose. Throw everything. Do anything you can for those eliminations. Do anything you can for those points. And for everybody currently watching at home, don't forget that the PMWC Lucky Spin is currently available in the game. Log in and do your spins before it's gone. You could get the Electron Energy set, the Proton Power set, and that grows out that I'm just so close to getting it that I feel like today, after we crown a champion, I'll be able to get it. The PMWC Lucky Spin available now. Go check it out. Co-created with PDP creator Nana. But you were wanting to say something before we were talking about those awesome skins.
Talking about the bottom teams, right? The teams that have nothing to lose. I want to look especially at the Indian teams, right? Orangutan, and also looking at Godlike. AKOP had some really good plays, by the way, earlier today on Rondo specifically. So good one on AKOP. But at this point, it's just about getting experience. Just try and get as high a rank as you possibly can. I would say top 10 would be great to see one of those two teams to try and finish on. But I'm sure that with how much they've learned this event, next time we do see them 7, they're going to come back even stronger, maybe in PMGC.
I think so. I mean, we already seen a strong performance out of OG, this one being now their second international event. For Godlike, they have completely shattered my expectations, even though after what I saw from earlier on, I had them in my top 5 for the finals here. the pressure, I feel like, ended up getting to them because it is their first international event. But I'm with you. I think that experience that they're going to be getting here is going to progress not only just for them, but also for India as a region.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if you look at the likes of X-Force Rejects, for instance, down in Africa, right, the African region, their global experience has been moving forward and actually influencing other teams around them in their local area. So it's the exact same thing for our Indian teams here. I've been very, very impressed with Godlike, very impressed with OG. Even in the finals coming in here, day 3, looking really good, making some fantastic plays against the likes of Tiamba, like a lot of different teams here. I do think that, yes, the experience is one thing here, Seven. That's definitely not to be overlooked because they just don't have the experience these other teams do. But I will say, even I was surprised by the big jump between group survival and finals. Like, it's a completely different lobby than what they played earlier in the week. So for them, it's just really hard to adapt as well. And yeah, they're getting left behind, but still massive GGs. I'm very impressed.
Completely different playing style here in the finals. Group A, we got a chance to see just tacticalness. Group B, we've got a chance to see aggressiveness. And survival, we got a little bit of a sneak peek. It was still passive, but now we're here in the finals. And now we only have possibly one match left. If nobody wins it from the top 4, then we will have that 6th match. But Barney, do you think it's going to be ending here in this first Miramar, or are we going to go one more?
Oh my goodness.
What is happening?
Dude, my heart is coming out of every orifice that I have, Lucy. I don't know what is going on. It's getting
insane.
It's getting so spicy here on the Qiddiya City grid. Of course, we now have 4 teams that are on Smash Point. We've got Nongshim Red Force.
Yes, indeed.
E-Arena.
Since a long time.
I know. It feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah,
S2G.
it was a long time ago now.
And of course,
just Aurora Gaming just cuts it now.
I know, they're all fighting, battling tooth and nail for this right here. Our beautiful PMWC trophy and the legacy,
of course,
at EWC.
And I think there is people from all over the world as well, like watching them. And I think our audience is ready as well. Everybody's like, one more game? No, don't want one game, depending of who you're rooting for, actually.
That's right. We step foot onto Miramar for 2 times, potentially, but it could all end in the next match. And so, everyone in the Qiddiya City grid, are you ready?
Of course, make some noise! Here we are, back to you, Caster, for the game 5.
There you go, setting the stage perfectly there. Shout out to Barney and Luke, you've been absolutely killing it over the course of the event. And so have you, Paris. You've been absolutely electric here in the Qiddiya City grid. And all of us are sat in anticipation for what is yet to come as we move over from Erangel and set our sights on the new geometry that is Miramar Blank.
And we said goodbye to Rondo, we've said goodbye to Erangel, and we are saying hello to our 2 final Miramars, which will cap off this tournament. PMWC at EWC. It has been an absolute slammer of an event. But right now, that last game, not so much. It was a bit of a slam dunk from Aurora. And S2G misses the boat on that one.
And Eamon, I think what hurts most is that could have been the full 3-pointer Blank. They were set up for a nice swish in through the net.
Yeah, they were. They absolutely were, but bounced off the backboard, directly back into their own face. I mean, for Kamikaze, completely understand it. I think his center position movements have been not so great.
Okay.
I think sometimes you do have to peel back and realize we need the full 4v Frankers. It's been fine because they've had majority control anyway, and what he does by doing that is massively secure the win, because he's able to play that position very effectively. That time around, when you've got Vitality up in that northern edge, you've got Aurora trying to push up the hillside, you need to fully reinforce that position, otherwise that happens. Either way, we were discussing it. It's a hard one because right now Aurora's on an absolute high. They are living in the clouds at the moment, but for S2G, that's a mentally booming game.
It's going to get you. It's going to get you. Even with the strongest mental fortitude, a game like that, you have to completely reset and effectively try and just play this one in isolation. Treat it as a best of one game, forget everything else. Because, yeah, otherwise you kind of sat there with the thoughts of that was our championship game. We were very nearly in a reality where we could have been crowned champions.
Yeah.
But There are other teams that are eligible for that to be the outcome, and of course, like we touched on, with 2 games left to go, there is still plenty of opportunity for any one of them to close it out. That smash rule could still come into effect. You could still close it here in Game 5.
For Nongshim, we know they can do it already. They did it yesterday on Game 6. The Arena hasn't looked terrible on Miramar either. S2G is known for their Miramars. So we'll wait and see how it does pan out. We're just waiting to get into game right now as everyone gets set up and ready to jump in. All fun on screens. I don't think it's been the worst of tournaments for them. It's just there has been some missteps, right? And I think that it wouldn't be right for me to say that they've played fine throughout the entirety of this tournament. They have made some missteps here and there. Sometimes, I think Neptune actually put it very well. They play very reactive into some of their late games where I think there are some good decisions as they leapfrog into the circles, but then when things start to go wrong, they really go wrong. And that means losing one player here, one player there, trading off for things that they weren't quite expecting. But we do know that once Ulf gets towards an endgame as a format, they look fine. They look really good, but it's getting there, which has been the difficulty for them. Aura, Sleepy currently is doing an incredible amount of work for the squad today, looking fantastic. But we have seen them to lose that Erangel earlier on, where it just felt like a sure thing. Tiamba was just showing up in a big way.
They were indeed. It was great to see the rise back to form for Tiamba. Topsy-turvy road for Enigma Galaxy as well. A lot of squads, a lot of narrative, things that we'll be picking into as this develops. To get in store for it, we're about to go live with this one. Miramar Game 5 here at PMWC, at EWC 26. Looking to crown another new champion, another new organization to fly the banner high, and our next 4 kings of PUBG Mobile here on the grand stage, live from Paris, France.
Penultimate match here. It's going to take an ultimate game for some of these guys to get it done. 4 teams vying for control right now. Other teams looking to break in that 122 points barrier to potentially take it all home on that final match. We're looking at Furia, Tiamba, 4 Thrives, Enigma Galaxy to make that jump. But there are 4 teams that could stop it right here, right now. Going into map number 5, Nongshim stopping out short over towards Ruins as per usual. Nice playing path for them. They can get looted very, very quickly and move into that circle when it pops. We've not seen a lot of Western circles, and Nongshim's been able to play a lot of these like Southeast, East circles fairly well, despite starting in Ruins, which is, I think, the most impressive thing about them. Tiamba out down towards Impala. And S2G will have to go for the full reset. And like you say, you kind of want the Men in Black mind wipe right now, don't you, really, from the coaches?
Yeah, the neuralizer, wipe that off. Glad to see this, though, mate. Yeah, a bit more normality instantly into this one in terms of the circle. We've had some pretty wacky circles at times, made it a bit uncomfortable for a few of the squads, a few of the games. It's going into our first of the 2 Miramars, potentially 2, that is. Glad this is a more consistent start to open us up.
Yeah, we're around El Azahar, Hacienda del Patron. Kind of don't want to center up too much around here because we're heading over towards those horrible dead fields. Always a bit uncomfortable to play. You got Death Valley down towards Ricardo way. La Bandita is going to create a little bit of a funnel for our teams playing Los Leones, Valparaiso, as well as Impala. For S2G, straight shot towards the center available for them here. I think they're fine playing from truck stop. Nongshim Red Force, a little bit more of a journey, but can wrap on that north side. And again, jumping into this one, got to get a move on. Just like Naruto Uzumaki. Just straight running across that water. But we want to bring some heat to the equation, some fire, with the Ninetales Fury Org skin as well as the Naruto Uzumaki set. Plenty to win in game, plenty to grab. Make sure you do join in. But join us now as we head back into the game.
Yeah, that'll always be there waiting for you whilst the event's ongoing. take advantage of it, but like Blank said, we'll stick with the present for now and see what we get out of this. Obviously early doors into it initially. No over-aggression necessary from the teams, not worth the risk due to the damage it could do back upon you. So it will be a fairly safe opening few minutes here of looting for a decent majority of our squads. Bit of a split there from OG early with a 3-1 setup, Aru further back. Ooh, and this has actually resulted in a bit of commotion as well. More high octane than potentially our first four. S-Power comes in with the opening elimination as Godlike do get line of sight down onto OG.
Yeah, good shots from S-Power. Again, he has really made a name for himself here. Very well known within his own region, but now on a global stage, known to be able to tango with the best of them. Incredible clutches throughout the entirety of the tournament for S-Power. Really just hope to see more of him in the future, honestly. This has been a wonderful event for him, alongside with the rest of the squad supporting him wonderfully. Ulf getting nice and central on this one too, just underneath Hacienda. Still a lot of teams yet to move in just yet though. Aurora getting the full loot on. You can see them on our screens right now. Still looking for some supplies. Mini 14 switched out there for the M16. But not set up, but I want to see what he picks up. Tiamba, genuinely from Impala right now, would be nice to see them getting another strong match in. Already shown they can do it. And with how tight those rankings are towards the top, I mean, just look at 8th through 5th. You're looking at 103 to 105. That's a big jump up in prize pool as well. And it may all end here on this match, so you can really switch things up very, very quickly. I think for Tiamba, you know, getting a top 5 in this event would be a really, really good result for them. A bit hard to jump up over towards that top 4 with E-Arena on 123. I think that does bear mentioning though of E-Arena 123, because remember the first match on Rondo, they hit 122.
Yeah.
Over the next few matches, they have earned a single point. And this is what Smash ruling does to you, man. Because you are so focused on getting that chicken dinner, so focused on hitting that smash that you forget that this might just go all the way through to the 6th match. And then Nongshim just takes it off the back of the tiebreaker between them and Aurora.
Now that is the double-edged sword to it. You're scared to play it out like a regular game due to the fear of having it slip through your fingertips and not getting that instantaneous win. But then, like you touch on, you leave yourself very susceptible to be lapped, and it's been a nice step up from the teams above them that are dangerously close to all being tied. 1 point of difference there, S2G on 139, everyone else on 140, and Nongshim and Aurora. The one saving caveat could be the fact we've seen a bit more aggression from our teams trying to first onto the big dogs in the lobby that are in the smash zone. So that's been saving these games and keeping them going for a bit longer. Cheeky peek there. Shots on target, but goes both ways. Bit of damage back over onto Ulf, and the 4 Thrives boys do start to turn tail.
Lovely pickup from Huzaifa there. He had his eyes over towards that concrete there, understood that that's a potential position a team could be playing in, instantly rebuffs the shots, and because of that, Falak stays up. Because in that position, I'm pretty sure he drops off the vehicle, he gets insta-flushed. So that does keep 4 Thrives as a 4-man, which they need, because they're right on 105 points. Get themselves 17 more on this match. They set themselves above that smash ruling. Challenge out for that top 3 as well if we do go all the way to 6 matches, which at internationals does tend to be the way things go down. Yeah, it's not a win though.
Scarface, tight timing on the turnaround here. Being ran down by 4 Thrives. He's calling for the backup, and they're starting to swell over. Ooh, so
How
close.
is he alive?
I don't know. He's tucked in, finally found by Falak. He will fall. This is just as the rest of Ulf have pulled up to the party as well. And they've got a read on this, they know. Instantly peppering the bullets back, and there's no reason to be here anymore. Call it quits.
I mean, it's so central. This is not a bad place to play, but I think you're right. Ulf just realizes that going to cut their losses on this one. this stage of the game, trying to get yourself further up in the rankings, not worth it. Take the fight against a team which might be elongated with the nades, been thrown through the windows, playing off the upstairs, can get very dangerous in there. Dropping those mollies as well. Zone 2 though coming up, and Zone 2 will cut in very hard on Miramar. Plenty of fun areas this could head over towards on some hard shifts, can head over towards the high ground now as a highway over towards those fielded areas on the north side. Rivera Armada